theory creaking open, baby.
Yo, welcome to the screen where the plot gets bent. Julie B deep dives, not just for content. She don't react, she dissects those threads from the lens, catching clues y'all missed when the credits end. What you know about freeze framing frames and while you blinking, she building an evidence drum. Got a notebook thicker than the lore itself, and a chat full of nerds with a mental health shelf. Yeah, she sees the glitch, peep the double cross. You just watching TV, she talk to the boss. Every theory and thesis, no throwaway guess. While y'all on season 1, she in season X. Said rewind this slow it, zoom in, enhance. Julie B caught the symbol in the window glance. While you tweeting what just happened like a clown, she already made a flow chart, color coded breakdown.
They don't die like us, they don't vibe like us. They binge and they bounce, we revive that trust. They skip intros, we every frame. You watch shows, we decode the game. They don't die like us, nah, they don't die like us.
She cracked Severance before y'all knew it was deep. Predicted the Last of Us deaths in her sleep. When the camera pans, she ain't blinking once. Catch a ghost in the glass, call it theory punch. Watch parties lit like apocalypse nights. Call-ins while they bringing alien rights.
Hey Julie, I think the trees are spies. Well, I have a spreadsheet that confirms that, guys.
Zoom in, boom in, she moving through clues. Spinning Discord in the courtrooms, Lord of views. Got mods with receipts, timestamps with heat. Every rewatch turns into a Reddit elite. You stuck on the surface, we beneath with maps. Cross-referencing lore with the rectus caps. If your fave show got secrets, don't be dumb. Julie got the chalkboard out in From's where it's from.
They don't dive like us, they don't vibe like us. They skim the edge, we inside that crust. They zone out, we zone in the pain. You say plot twist, we say nope, chain. They don't dive like us, nah, they don't dive like us. What's that?
That ain't a blooper, that's a plot thread. You thought it was a shadow? She thought it was a coded message from season 3. And she's probably right. Step this way if your mind's unbent. Step that way if your theories pay rent. Say Julie B, deep dive queen. Now zoom, scroll, theorize, pull. Ain't no rabbit hole safe once she got the cloud.
They don't die like us.
Hello, welcome to Julie B Deep Dives with Pandecolima, aka Carl. So we are running very late tonight, and we're going to make this a much shorter live than usual for self-care reasons for myself. I have a lot going on right now, so I apologize for the lateness, but I've been having a lot of difficulty with my pain management lately, and I've made the choice to prioritize self-care over everything right now so I can get my pain under control. So anyway, we're going to get into Breaking Down the Institute episode 6, which is called Run, just simply Run. And I'm going to scroll up to the top of the chat to the people who were here much earlier before I had to reschedule. So just me was here. I'm saying was here because who knows who's actually here now, or who might make it back. With Alice was here. Appreciate you guys in case you do come back or you watch the replay. I appreciate you, replay gang. Carl, how are you doing?
Oh, great. How are you?
Doing all right. Hanging in there. And hey there, Noah. Noah was here. And Sugared Sage. Sugared Sage was here, aka Kells. So nice to see Kells here from Koala Tea's community, and she has an awesome channel, very spiritual, just beautiful perspective she has on life, and it's very calming. So I recommend checking her channel out. And if Dieter, if you're able to, Dieter, if you have the link, or if you could grab the link to her channel, I would love to have people check it out. And if you aren't able to, just let me know and I will grab that link myself and share it. Let's see. Bill Chill is here. Night Knockers assemble. Yes, Night Knockers. Well, with Alice, uh, um, with Alice maybe asleep now, but she tends to watch replays sometimes. So I appreciate you being here. Bonjour, Dame Rouge. I loved your interview. Thank you, Dieter. I was honored to get the chance to interview Mary Walsh. She is, in case anybody does not know, Mary Walsh is an absolute legend, a comedy legend. She helped completely reshape the landscape of Canadian comedy, starting from the 1970s. She was part of a comedy troupe called Codco, starting in 1974 when she was like in her early 20s. And they started touring. They came from Newfoundland, Newfoundland, as she pronounces it. And they helped kind of address Canadians, prejudice against people from Newfoundland. And, because they were the butt of jokes a lot. And, so they really kind of changed perspectives on that and people's perspectives, and used this in their comedy. They used social commentary a lot. And they were just, people from that place, people from Newfoundland, they're known for having a great sense of humor, and they kind of have to deal with, being the butt of jokes. It's just kind of ingrained in their culture to be funny and kind and down to earth people. And that's how Mary Walsh is. She was an absolute joy and a pleasure to interview. It was so much fun. So thank you to everyone who's watched the interview. And if you haven't watched it yet, it's the latest video on my channel. I'll see if I can grab the link and drop it in the chat. Or if one of you guys could grab the link, Carl or Dieter. So it's 42 minutes long.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'll put
Carl.
it in there.
Thanks, Carl. So it's 42 minutes long, which was just amazing. I am so grateful that she was so generous with her time, and it was just awesome. Like, I've seen her do interviews that were only a few minutes, like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, and wow, I was just so grateful for that much time. I actually spent about an hour with her, but some of it I had to edit and cut down, and some of it was just kind of talking before we got started. But it was awesome. And so, oh, and also this is really amazing too. After she had this Codco TV series, which was also legendary in Canada, she created a show called This Hour Has 22 Minutes, and it's basically a precursor to The Daily Show in the US. It's the same exact kind of political satire, except about Canadian politics. And she played a hilarious character in it named Marg, and various other funny characters. And she created the show, and it just finished its 32nd season. She's not on it, regularly anymore like she was in the beginning. Of course, she's got lots of other things she's doing in her career, but she just revolutionized political satire and comedy. You watch clips, and it's like, oh my God, The Daily Show must have taken inspiration from it. And I love The Daily Show. So anyway, it was just, yeah, I was pretty starstruck, but she could not have been nicer. So, yeah, check out the link to the interview, and I will, on the replay, if you're listening, I will put the link to the interview in the description of this video as well, so you can check it out there. Next week, it's looking like I'm going to be interviewing 2 more cast members from the Institute. Vigo, who plays Avery, and Jane Luck, who plays Maureen. I am just looking to lock down a date, but next week is when I'm probably going to be interviewing both of them separately, of course. And I think it's going to be a one-on-one pre-recorded interview, most likely. It definitely will be with Vigo because he's just a child actor. And so I will be so excited to do that. And so keep an eye out for those interviews. And I'm a bit behind on my coverage in terms of deep dives on the Institute, but I'm going to do what I can to try and catch up. So you might see some videos pop up late covering episodes 5, 6, and 7 coming up on Saturday night after that airs. But yeah, if you do see any videos pop up and they're late, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give it a like and throw a comment in the chat to help me with the algorithm, as I'll be fighting a losing battle releasing them late. Throw an emoji in the comment section. It triggers the algorithm. Hit the like. Play it for at least 30 seconds, which counts as a view. And these videos range usually from 16 to 23 minutes. They're longer. I mean, they're shorter than my usual. So if you do see those in your notifications, I'd really appreciate it if you check them out. So that being said, let me get back to the chat here. So Dieter wrote a bunch of stuff here. I'm not going to highlight. Well, I'll highlight some of it. Carl, can you read this?
Let's see. So, Pandecolima con esa voz ya me tiene sonriendo. Imagínese lo que pasaría si le veo la cara. Oh my God. So he's saying that like with that voice, he has me smiling. Imagine if I could see his face.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. What's Dieter doing this weekend?
Oh, it's great. Carl, what about this one? This one is another one in Spanish.
JulieBDeepDives, el rojo te queda increíble. Deberías usarlo más seguido. So, Julie, like red looks amazing incredible on you. You should use it more often.
Oh, thank you, Dieter. It is kind of like my trademark now. But I finally have my clothes back that I got out of storage. So you're gonna, on future lives when I'm on camera, you're gonna see some colors other than red. Because unfortunately, my whole wardrobe isn't red. But
well, that blouse that you had on the interview was, yeah, we haven't seen that one before, correct? And
no,
that looked amazing with it was like roses, right? That was a beautiful blouse. It looked great on you.
Thank you. Yes, that was a new one. That one I fished that out of storage along with a lot of other clothes. So I was psyched to find something else with red that I hadn't worn on camera yet. So yeah, so you'll see that I do own more than just 5 or 6 red blouses or blouses with red in them. I have lots of other clothes. And anyway, moving on. One last comment in Spanish, Carl.
En JulieBDeepDives navegamos unidos y en cada puerto dejamos sonrisas y amigos. Oh, well, he translated it for everybody in there. In JulieBDeepDives, we sail together, and in every port, we leave smiles and friends, and maybe some love children.
Oh, that's nice. I saw he translated it, but I still wanted to hear you read it.
Okay, yeah, I added the whole like leaving love children in every port, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly. Let's see. Hey, Jen. Nice to see you. Yes. Gets her red lipstick. Yeah. I'm not wearing any tonight. That's why I'm not on camera. I'm just chilling here, trying to manage my pain. So yes, we're not going to have FROMacademy this week. We're going to take a 2-week. Right now, I'm thinking it's just going to be a 2-week hiatus from FROMacademy so that I can focus on self-care. So for the next, little over a week. So I can focus on self-care. So we're going to take a little break from that, and we're going to take a break from other lives. So we're going to just do an Institute live next week for the new episode of the Institute, just FYI. That will be, as far as I know, that'll be the only live, unless one of the interviews happens to be a live one, but I think they're going to be pre-taped. And the following week, when I come back from my break, for my self-care break, then we'll get back to doing more FROMacademy stuff. So not next week, but the week after. We'll get back to FROMacademy and hopefully another live with Doug, And anyway, moving on. See, JT Moore was here, and apologies, yes, for being late. Let's see, Shadow Skulk, hello again, beautiful peoples. Nice to see you as always. Thank you for being here. Hey there, Doc, my friend. Thank you for being here too. Appreciate you. And I'll miss you during our little FROMacademy hiatus. But yeah, it's something I need for my self-care, and we'll be back before you know it. Jen is back. Awesome. Thank you for coming back. And let's see. Anything else I missed? Thank you, Shadow Skull. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to take better care of myself. And thank you for the prayers and flowers, Dieter. Dieter was first in the chat. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, when I changed the time, I think maybe some of your Spanish messages were erased. It wasn't me, I swear. Thank you for dropping the link to Sugared Sage's channel. Check out her channel. She is a lovely, beautiful soul. Thank you for promoting the interview, Dieter. Really appreciate it. She was lovely. The longer you two talked, the more she loved you. Thank you so much. She was absolutely lovely. And Carl dropped the link there in the chat to the interview with Mary Walsh, an absolute comedic legend. If you aren't aware of her comedy, look her up. She's going to be going on a comedy tour soon and doing a Codco reunion, I think this fall, and she's amazing. Anyway, thank you for the kind words, Dieter. Yes, that red blouse was awesome. Thank you. You have fish in your storage? Fish? I fished them out. It's an American expression. 14 likes. Please hit the like button, folks. Appreciate it. So help people find the stream, and we're going to get into the breakdown now. I just have to pull up my images here. Okay. So images right here. Here we go. We're going to make this a shorter one than usual. I know famous last words, but I really am going to do it this time. And if I can just load the albums. I'm not going to share my personal photos here. One time I did that by accident, and it's like, I don't want to be showing random pictures from my photo roll on here. It's just here we go. So the episode, I was, I don't want to say underwhelmed, but I didn't think it was one of the strongest episodes. It was good. It was good. I think it had some filler in it. I think it took a little too long to get where it was going, but and there were some things that were a bit predictable, but I still am enjoying the show. And so it starts with Luke escaping under the rusty fence that they've been teasing all freaking season. The goddamn rusty fence. We finally get to. It's like a fucking Chekhov's gun, isn't it? They've been talking about this rusty ass old fence in the back half all season, and you knew eventually you were going to see this rusty ass fence. And finally, he crawls under it.
Yeah, it was a Chekhov's tetanus shot, you know?
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, they teased this thing like it was going to be some really big deal. It's just a rusty old fence that he climbs under. Big deal. Why do they have to bring it up multiple times? But anyway, yeah. So that was predictable. And the fact that they brought it up multiple times made it predictable that he's going to be able to crawl under it. My biggest criticism of this show is predictability. There's too much that they telegraph ahead of time, that they make glaringly obvious, that they spoil in their opening credits, for God's sake. The big reveal of the recovery room with the kids in catatonic states, that's in the opening credits. Come on. Like, this would be really great if they didn't make it so predictable. That's my biggest criticism. The story itself, I love. It's awesome. Just don't make it so obvious what's going to happen. That is the issue I have. Anyway, he crawls under, and let's hope he's up to date on his tetanus shots, because that looks gnarly. That
some of the Yeah, some of the dialogue is a little bit like predictable as well, and you'll I'm sure you'll point out some of those moments as well.
Yep, absolutely. So just like Avery said, that they there's a rusty fence where you could fit under, um, in the back half playground area, and Luke was able to do it, but it scratched his back up pretty bad. He's banged up, cut up, and his ear is wounded from ripping that tag off in the previous episode, or cutting it off, I should say. Anyway, meanwhile, Maureen, what's going on with her? I forget. Oh, I remember. Wait, this is the point where she was talking to somebody. Hold on. So she was, I'm gonna pull that up. I have something with notes in it.
I think that's where Luke is kind of remembering what she said in the previous episode of like what he needs to do and where he needs to go. Like he needs to go run and cross the river or the stream and get to the red steps. I think that's what she was saying right there.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. This wasn't the part where she was talking to somebody. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, so there's a lot of there's not as much talk as usual in this one, and there's more action. Luke running through the woods. You got Tim here. He happens to be on a collision course with Luke because he's exploring the Institute grounds at the same time. Lucky for Luke. And he finds this plaque that says dedicated in loving memory to the lives lost in the Red Steps tragedy. Ruth Nelson, Zoe Sloan, who was referenced earlier this season, her mother, basically Annie, homeless lady Annie, was arguing with, trying to get the mother to listen to her, that her daughter's death was not a drowning accident, that there's more to it. And the mother was saying, leave me alone, get away from me, and not wanting to listen. So that was that reference right there. And then two other names. And I mean, it was so obvious to me from the first moment that was brought up that was no accident. So I predicted it, and it's already been revealed that it was no accident, basically. I don't know if it's been was it made explicit, or is it just highly implied, or strongly implied, I think, that it was no accident, that those kids' bodies were dumped there. I think, yeah, in the previous episode, yeah, what's her name? Wendy, she found some old police records, and yeah, she was saying that the kids were, just they were screwing around, and they broke into the Institute grounds because it's boring in a small town. So she found some kind of documentation suggesting that. So yeah, that was, see, again, too obvious. I mean, come on, make it a little bit of a challenge for us to guess, is all I'm saying. But anyway, I won't belabor that point too much. So so Tim looks around. So there's a lot of this stuff, not a lot of talk. The first couple episodes were very heavy on exposition and talk. This episode was more action based. Now, here's the Red Steps area he's investigating. It says, warning, stay on established trails, dangerous undercurrent, absolutely no swimming. Well, what a perfect place for the Institute to fake people's deaths. So those kids, they broke into the Institute, they saw stuff they weren't supposed to see, and their bodies were dumped there 3 days later, and people just assume they drowned because there really is a dangerous undercurrent, and it happens to be right near where the Institute is. And as soon as Annie showed Tim the map that said the Institute was right next to the Red Steps, that confirmed my guess right away, that or my theory that those kids' deaths were faked. It was not an accident, and Annie was right. Annie was crazy and delusional, but she said a lot of things that were accurate as well. There was always a grain of truth in it. That's exactly what Tim said about his mother, who was mentally ill and had some delusions. So Then we have a very tense scene between Maureen as she's cleaning up that giant eye symbol, and she's talking to Stackhouse. Now, okay, let me catch up with where I'm at in my notes here. My Chromebook's running a little slow. So Stackhouse approaches her and she's like, "Is there a problem?" And let's see. He's like, "Miss Sigsbee is not in her office. We can't find her on any of the cameras, but the log says she hasn't left. Any idea where she might be?" And so Maureen's really tense. She's like, "Actually, I do. The HVAC room." Now the HVAC room. I'm not sure how she knew that, but anyway, then he leaves, and there's this tense moment where she's watching him go, and you know that she feels this fear. Sorry, I gotta quiet my phone a little bit. Let's see, how do I turn the sound off? My phone recently changed its it changed its settings, so now everything is in a different spot, and I don't know where to find it anymore. Okay. So yeah, the HVAC room, he goes to find Sigsbee down there. And there's like this internal tension between them because it's basically her against Hendricks and Stackhouse, who have a little side thing going, and they're trying to sell these kids off, especially Luke, to the highest bidder. Luke specifically, develop precognition abilities in him and then sell him off to the highest bidder. And she suspects them. She's figured out that they're trying to develop Luke's precog abilities. And so, yeah, there's this internal tension going on here. So she says that she's down here because she knows maintenance is short on manpower. And she's like, when the air conditioning was on the fritz yesterday, I figured it was just another sign of this place being run down, sloppiness, carelessness. But then maintenance got around to fixing it. And so we know that it was actually Luke. And Luke sabotaged it. So she figured this out by checking it out. She's like, it's not sloppiness after all. Luke did that so that he could escape. And because there's some kind of weird temperature-oriented security system. So if they turn up the temperature in there, their body heat doesn't trigger the cameras. I find that weird. I've never heard of cameras like that in my life. Have you, Carl? Because I've never heard of that.
That does seem kind of weird. Why would you need temperature activated cameras? Why wouldn't they just be on?
Exactly. I find that to be a really weird plot device that was put in here. So she says, if one of our staff wanted to fuck this place, there's 1,000. Wait, no, sorry, that was Stackhouse. There's 1,000 ways more effective. And she says, who said anything about staff? So she suspects that a kid did it. I'm sure she suspects Luke in particular. And she's smarter than these two other guys. She's very clever. She's always figuring out what's going on, watching the cameras. She is way smarter than Stackhouse and Hendricks. They're not going to be able to pull the wool over her eyes at all. She's constantly figuring stuff out that they're not. And she's crafty. He's like a child. She's like, which one do you think? He says, Ellis, are you certain? Well, he's due for the box, meaning the dream box. So they're like, okay, I'll tell Tony. We're gonna tell Tony to keep him in the dream box a couple more minutes. So they don't know yet that Luke has escaped. And then and Stackhouse says, I braced the night knocker. So that he's referencing his conversation with Tim in the previous episode. He questioned Tim for being on the Institute grounds and they haven't taken him out yet because they're suspecting that he could be some kind of spy from upstairs trying to sent there to test them. Upstairs is this weird thing that they keep referencing, meaning whoever is in charge of them, whoever they're answering to, they call it upstairs. And I know, Carl, you have your theory on what that could mean, which was what again?
I think upstairs is literally like there may be some kind of UFO or some kind of alien connection because of that of the trailer giving stuff away, and the fact that Hendrix, right, that's the doctor's name. I always, for some reason, I can't, his name doesn't stick in my head, but he literally points up, and they keep talking about upstairs, and I think there's physically an actual upstairs. And in the trailer, when you see like half of the top half of the institute flying away from its foundation, I think it's something like that. I mean, it could be,
Okay.
some telekinesis, but I just feel this vibe that there's something unhuman about what's going on here. And same thing with the wires and the tubes that are leading upwards out of that room where everybody's comatose, So that's my feeling.
Okay. Yeah, that is a compelling theory, and I would love for that to be true, and I hope that it is, because it would be I would be like, finally something that's not predictable, that's harder to figure out, that's harder to guess. So I hope your theory comes true. I really do. I don't really know where I stand on this upstairs thing. So I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. But yeah, I hope you're right. That would be really interesting. Anyway, so let me just check in with the chat really quick before continuing. Well, I'll finish this scene. So she says, and is he from upstairs? So referring to Tim, he's like, almost certainly not. Okay, so he figures Tim is not a spy sent there to check on them from upstairs. They didn't want to just kill him in case this is some kind of a test, like they usually kill people who get in their way, like they had Annie killed. In the previous episode, they've all but said it. They said, we should have taken him out too. But then they're like, oh, what if he's FBI investigating them? Or what if he's sent from upstairs? So that's why Stackhouse went to check it out. He said, my read, he really is just a drifter. Happened to drift here. So she's like, so not worth killing? And he says, I'm not saying that. She's like, what are you saying? So they're openly talking about how they kill people now. He said, I've met guys like him in the forces, other places. So what the hell does that mean? In the forces? Carl, you pointed out that the odd phrase that is, it's so generic. If he was in the Air Force with them, that's not how they talk about it. The Air Force, they'd say the Air Force or the Force, maybe.
Right.
It sounds
When
like
he
he's
says,
talking about being in the military. Go on.
yeah, when he says forces, it's almost like is he, CIA? Is he, because it seems like that's generic, like as though he's dealt with Army, Navy, Air Force, everybody. Then obviously UK, it's almost as though he's dealt with every single kind of force. So that's why he says the forces. And
Yeah.
he has a lot of odd phrasing, like he says, oh, they might get damaged. It's like damaged, they might get hurt. Why would you talk about human beings being damaged? And he even says something like that in this episode.
Yes, he does. He refers to that, like something about being damaged again. Yeah, that really struck me too. That's dehumanizing them. You don't talk about people as being damaged rather than hurt, or harmed. It's weird. So he says, once they get a hold of something, you have to pry their jaws open to make them let go. So it's like he's saying Tim is like a dog with a bone. He will not let this go if he's going to keep poking around. That's what he's saying. He will not let this go. He said, Tim, he won't stop. So we stop him. So I think, this means like they're out to get Tim now. They're out for blood. They're planning on trying to kill him. So he's now got a target on his back. Now, before I continue, I'm going to check in with you guys. Muncher Luncher, nice to see you. Thuggish motor vehicle in the house. Yes. Thug vehicle here. Dieter, 319 views on the Keith David interview. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. That's awesome. Yes, I was so honored and grateful to interview the amazing, the legendary Keith David. So any of you guys, if you haven't checked that out, that's on my channel as well under some of the latest videos. And so far, 28 views on the Mary Walsh interview. Thanks, Dieter. If you haven't checked out my interview with Mary Walsh, she plays Annie. Check that out. It's 42 minutes long and you will not regret it. She is hilarious and so interesting to talk to. So much personality. Within, let's just say this, okay, just give you a little taste of this interview. The very first answer to one of my questions, in the very first answer, she referred to a part I believe it was a part she once had to play where she had to have an orgasmic reaction to something she was eating. And she said, and I hadn't even had an orgasm yet at that time. So I was like, oh, okay. So this is going to be a wild and fun interview. Alrighty then. She's a blast to talk to. She is so funny and so smart. And she swears like a sailor. She's my kind of lady. She's so compassionate and down to earth. Trust me, it's an enjoyable interview. And we talked about, so like the first 20 minutes or so, we talk about her legendary career as a comedic icon in Canada, going back to the 70s and just what a trailblazer she is. I talked to her about that and asked her questions. Then we got into the Institute. So stick around in that. I'm going to add chapters to make it easier for you to find the different parts of the interview. So don't click off it. We do take some time to get to the Institute stuff, but I did talk to her about her character of Annie, of course, who we love and we missed on the show. And I asked her about her experiences with that. And she talks about how awesome it was to work with Jack Bender. We know him as the executive producer and a director on From, of course. And he's also doing those things on the Institute. She loved working with him. She loved working with Ben Barnes, who plays Tim. And yeah, like she, I just spoke from my heart and told her how much I loved her character and we miss her character and what a highlight of the show Annie was. And she said that it meant a lot to her and she said I was spreading joy and she wanted to pass that on. And that really meant the world to me. So I was just so touched and just honored and grateful for that experience. And so I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So check it out. It is worth the watch for her sake. She's the one who made this what it was with her just amazing answers and her humor. And anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, but check that out. It's the latest video on my channel. And I will put it in the description of this video later. I'm going to edit the description and add that in. Jen said those steps aren't red. Indeed, they're not. I don't know why they call them red. Yeah. Carl said, oh my God, Jen, I was waiting for some fucking red steps. What the fuck? Exactly. Where are the red steps? She's like, yeah, me too. I was like, what the fuck? Yes. Hey, just me. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. It's so nice to see you as always, and I hope you're doing well. Carl, can you read this from Dieter?
No manches, Julie B explora the Institute y trae puro chisme bueno. Like, share y subscribe para que no digas no sabía. So no manches is kind of like don't like no, like it's a nicer way of saying no mames. It's like saying, like don't fuck around. Explore the Institute and or that you explore the Institute and you bring the pure gossip bueno, so chisme is like gossip or like tea or however you want to put it. It's what do you
Okay.
call it, a slang phrase like that. Like, share, and subscribe, so that you don't say that you didn't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for the Spanish comments there,
Yeah.
Dieter. I
Oh,
I, I
I
love
would just I was
uh,
just gonna add real quick. I was just gonna add real quick. Maybe Jen or somebody can type a better definition of no manches.
okay. Yes. Um thanks for the comments in Spanish, Dieter. I love hearing Carl read them. I love the sound of Spanish. It's a beautiful language. Um so he said, if you have requests for a watch party, I would like to do one tonight in between 10 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Let me know. So yeah, let Dieter know in the chat if you have requests for a watch party in our Discord for Friday night. Then put them in the chat, and Dieter is going to be streaming something tonight, because we're not going to be doing our usual FROMacademy live. Just a 2-week hiatus on that. So yeah, put those requests in the chat. Saggy Star, hey, so nice to see you. She said, hey everyone, hope everyone's having a wonderful night. The show is starting to piss me off. You're not the only one. I've heard that from other people. There are definitely mixed reactions from fans, and I have my own criticisms for sure. Feel free to elaborate on what's pissing you off. I'm curious. Dieter said, oh, UFOs aren't necessarily alien. People mostly think about aliens, but lots of secret tech is more likely. My opinion, no idea what upstairs might mean. Okay. Gotcha. JT Moore, hey, thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. He said thermal activated cameras are common for saving money purposes. Motion sensor cameras can either be too sensitive or not enough, guaranteed to trigger for a human instead of an animal or insect. But why can't they just be visual cameras is what I don't understand. Like, why can't they just, like, just show people on camera? I don't know. I don't get that. But thank you for the explanation there, Jay.
Maybe their hard drives are getting full of stuff, huh?
Maybe. Dieter said, Jay, yes, and at night you need infrared cameras so it recognizes people versus animals. Else the alarm goes off for nothing. Why they have it inside, no idea. Exactly. Outside, it can be helpful, especially if there are areas that the camera can't visually reach. But like if it could detect motion or body temperature outside, I could see that. Because outside there might be a lot of like blind spots. Outside is where you usually use things like that. Anyway, Just Me said it's because the humans are just products to them. Exactly. They're commodities. They're objects to be used. They're not, they're dehumanized. They're treated like specimens. Absolutely. That's why he said just that we don't want to, like, what if the kids get damaged is what he said in a previous episode. Hey there. I don't know how to say that. How would you pronounce this, Carl? What do you think this is supposed to be pronounced like? It's like
Untitled maybe, but like abbreviated.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to butcher it, but welcome. Thank you so much. I haven't seen you before. I'd love to know how you found the channel if you're still there. I would be curious to know. I always like to hear how people find me. And thank you so much for the kind words. Love this channel. Keep going. You know it. You know I will. I'm not going anywhere. For the next 2 weeks, I am going to be doing less live streams than usual. But then I will be back. You can bet on that. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be resuming 3 lives per week. Not not next week, but the week after. I'm probably going to do at least 2 lives. So the week of August 25th, I'm not going to be doing a live on Monday, but I'll be doing at least 2. I'll be doing maybe one with Doug Hughes from as the Man in Yellow from From. And of course FROMacademy, and I'm most likely going to be covering Alien Earth. By the way, I haven't checked out Please don't spoil episodes 1 and 2 for me because I haven't watched it yet. But I'm most likely going to be covering Alien Earth. Unfortunately, it's overlapping with this show and with my need to take a self-care, not break, because I'm still going to be covering the Institute, but I can't take on a new show right this minute. So not next week, but the week after, I'm going to try to start covering Alien Earth and catch up. So I've heard really great things about it. Carl is loving it so far. So anyway, so let me know in the chat if anyone finds that interesting. If you are interested in coverage for Alien Earth, including live streams, videos, let me know what you think. I like yeah, I think once the Institute is over, I'm going to start probably doing live streams every Monday night for Alien Earth, which will replace our coverage of the Institute when it ends. Hey, Doc says it always makes me so happy to see new people join the chat. Me too, my friend. Me too. And thank you so much for your support. You're awesome. I'm really grateful for your friendship. So Saggy Star elaborated on what's pissing her off. Let's see. What's pissing me off is how the watchman, clock, police officer, whatever his name is, has the boy all exposed and worried about his ear and took him to the police station knowing they have what? Well, yeah, I think that was frustrating me too. Yes, that annoyed me. Absolutely. I agree with you, Saggy. Annie's death, just me said Annie's death pissed me off. She was my favorite character. Me too. And guess what, guys? For those of you who don't know and have not read the book, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys regarding the book. I haven't read it, but all I know is that Annie did not die till she didn't die at all. They did not kill off Annie in the book. So that didn't need to happen to further the story, but maybe they felt the need to do it because they're taking a whole novel and they're compressing it into a limited series. It might be just one season, maybe 2 tops, I think. And so it's possible that they felt they needed to use Annie's death to move things along quicker and to make that what I predicted was that it would be a catalyst to set Tim on the path to investigate the Institute. And that's exactly what happened. I think they probably did it because they felt the need to move things along quicker, because they didn't kill Annie off in the book. So I really wish they hadn't done it. She was my favorite too. Saggy said, okay, quick question. Y'all don't think the Watchman cop acting stupid when he found the old boy? Don't judge me. I forgot his name. When he found old boy?
You know what? Now that I see it again, maybe she's asking what Luke's name was, because Tim is the cop, Saggy, and Luke was old boy, the young boy. I mean, those are the 2 characters at that moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was kind of annoying the way that whole went down. Yeah, it was annoying, and I think he was acting weird, and we'll get to that when we get to that point in the episode. It was just like, I thought the whole thing was weird, and he like found out that Luke's parents died, and then he just went over and hugged Luke and was like, I'm so sorry. The whole thing just felt oddly written and contrived, but that's just my opinion. Oh, Noah is back. Cool. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate those of you who came back, even though I was late. Thank you. Noah said, Dieter, I was on the Flex Your Mind podcast. Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about that. Anyway, let's see. Jen said, it means don't bullshit. How do you say this? No manches?
Yeah, you said it right. Good job.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Dieter said Carl sounds sexy. Yeah, I don't know how to roll R's like him. Yeah, I agree, Dieter. I agree. There's something about that sound. Oh God, I love that sound. Anyway, Dieter said, so time for unlimited movies till we fall asleep or the kids wake up. Awesome. Yes. So we'll go ahead and have watch parties That's awesome. I love to see people using the space. Use my Discord the way it should be used. If I don't have a live stream or my own watch party plan, any of you guys are welcome to watch what you want in there. And, we can't, you'll have to reach out to Dieter or Carl or me to tag everyone for you, but we can do that. Most people you don't have the ability to tag everyone, but if you ever want to do that, just reach out and we'll tag everyone for you, as long as it doesn't conflict with the live I'm doing or a watch party I'm doing. Shadow Skulk said the thermal cameras might also be the trigger to record/stream. Okay, good to know. Just me said, I'm sure these kids can remote view, but I don't know if regular cameras would pick that up. Yes, agreed. Teeter said, I have no idea. I'm here because Julie knows everything and is mostly right. I still have this peep tone in my ear from, I'm right, fucking reincarnation. Yeah. Yes, I know. With Tabitha on From, I was like, yes, I'm right. I'm right. I was a little excited. I'll admit that my theory was correct and Tabitha and Jade were reincarnated. Anyway, Teeter said, did you find us via my Google ad campaign? What? You have what kind of Google ad campaign? What? I didn't know you were doing that. Or maybe you're joking. I don't know. JT Moore said, stream an episode of Alphas from 2011. It's 1,000 times better version of the Institute. Oh, I like this concept, so maybe I'll check that out myself. Saggy said, yes, at first I didn't think that they were going to find each other. Like, it was just really pissing me off. Yeah, they dragged that out way too long, Luke and Tim finding each other. It was like, get to it already. It's so obvious that it's going to happen. She said, Pandecolima, thank you. What's the cop's name? I'm terrible with names in real life. Me too. It's Tim. His name is Tim. With shows I'm covering, I'm able to remember it because I take notes. But other than that, I forget all the names of everything too. Theater said Alien Earth gets good reviews and is popular. Don't stress about the first episode. You might not be able to cover. I won't overdo it. Yeah, I won't. Anyway, yes, please, on Alien Earth. Oh, thank you for the feedback. Awesome, Shadow Skull. Yeah, Eddie, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Everybody in the chat, if it sounds interesting to you or you'd be interested in watching lives. I'm going to do a poll too, but I think it's going to be something people will be into. Dieter said, have you seen the new pop doll they're releasing from Alien Earth? Might do a giveaway for Julie for it. Going to ask for donations though. I'm thinking on doing it differently. Yeah. So we could ask for donations for that. Like Dieter can do that and, do a giveaway. With the lottery, everyone spends $5 and we draw someone. Yeah, kind of like a raffle. We could do something like that. Okay. Anyway. Let's see. Did I miss anything important? Shadow said, I think he hugged Luke, realizing he's been through a lot of trauma and not with any real supporting adult. Yeah, I hear that. I just felt like, I don't know, it was a little like it just felt kind of forced the way they executed it. And he just put his hand on Luke's head. And anyway, we'll get there. Just me said, Carl, you do have a great voice for this. Hell yes, he does. He is natural at this. He has a perfect voice for this. And a perfect voice for voiceover stuff in general. And you could be reading audiobooks.
¿Dónde está el sanitarium?
Even I can figure out what that means. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's related to the Alien movie, Saggy. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, check it out, Saggy Star. I've heard great things about Alien Earth. Jen said, yes, please, Alien Earth. Okay, another vote for yes. Awesome. The number 3 vote for yes. Kelly, awesome. Thank you guys for the feedback. It helps me decide whether to cover a show. Because if there is an interest among my core community, and that's you guys, then I'm like, I'm not going to do it, Jeter said, no, not joking. Google Ads is a thing. 3.52K people saw your link to the interview and like 64 people watched the interview long enough for YouTube to notice. Wow. Thank you very much for doing that. I don't know if I missed a DM and didn't see that you told me, but Thank you so much, Dieter. Very much appreciated. And yes, Alien Earth is on Hulu for any of you guys who want to check it out. And we're going to start doing watch parties. In fact, Dieter already did on Tuesday night. Dieter did a watch party for Alien Earth episodes 1 and 2. And I think he's going to continue to do that every Tuesday night. The episodes drop on Tuesday nights. So we will be doing watch parties in my Discord. The link to that is in the description of this video. If you want to watch and you don't have Hulu, you can join us Tuesday nights to watch Alien Earth in there. I wasn't able to join this week, but I do want to join when I can. Peter said Alien China. Maybe you'll get extra XP points for that. Dieter said, Saggy said, I don't know. I've been working like crazy because I'm so stressed out. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get some stress relief soon. And she said, okay, here's my thing. Tim, the cop, started out real strong. And as soon as he found Luke, the boy, it all fell apart. I hear you. I didn't like the way that was written either. Shadow said, rewatching all the aliens and starting Alien Earth makes me want to get back into playing Dead by Daylight. I suck at playing the Xenomorph, but it's fun. I'm not good at video games either, but I'm going to start watching. I've only ever seen the first Alien movie, so I'm going to be watching all the rest of the Alien movies, or at least as many as I can, and watch the show too. All right. Back to the breakdown. So Tim's hunting around in the woods. This kind of goes on for a while. I think I'm sharing the wrong tab. Sorry. Here we go. We see that we know damn well that they're about to cross paths. They dragged it out for a while, but they're both in the woods. You know they're going to cross paths eventually, but you have this tension where the security guards, and you know they have no problem using lethal force, I'm sure. They're hearing noises, and Luke is close by there. They have guns. Luke slides down. He basically like slips and goes down the side of a hill and winds up in the water, and he's also trying to get away from the security guards, so he hides by swimming under the water. And this fooled me. The security guard was on the bridge and Luke's hiding underwater. Tense moments, but this fooled me because I was thinking, like, we've heard about the red steps so much and how dangerous the undercurrent is, and this is near there, or it might even be there. I didn't see any crazy undercurrent though, so maybe not. But I was thinking, okay, Tim's gonna have to save Luke, and I'm glad that it didn't happen because that would have been another predictable thing. So I was glad to be wrong. So then the security guard's looking around. Tim is going through the woods, still investigating, and he finds let's see, what is this that he finds? I forget now. There's you can see where the kids were hanging out. There's some old bottles still. And I think this incident where they drowned, or supposedly drowned, happened in the late 2000s. And their bottles are still laying in the woods for some reason. He uncovers this thing underneath the leaves, and it says, class of 2009, Notre Pen, which means our bread in French. And it says something Dennison, which is their town. Go Dennison. And there's somebody's initials. Carl, have you picked up on why the hell they use this Notre Pen thing? And it's in the yearbook under their pictures. And the no trespassing sign near here, the no trespassing, a bunch of the letters are faded out, so it looks like Notre Pen. What is with the Notre Pen? Why am I missing something here?
No, I think it was their secret that they were breaking in and checking out the institute. They were meeting up near the institute on the other side of that fence. I think that's what it was, and that's why they're dead, because they got too close and they may have seen something. And I think that's all it is. It was like their sort of inside joke, and hanging out there got them fucking murdered.
Oh, and so it's a kind of clue that they actually did break in, where on that sign where it says no trespassing, and it looks more like Notre Pen because of the faded letters.
Right.
It was like their secret, their little code that meant that they're going to sneak in there.
Yeah, it wasn't like they were baking croissants anywhere. They were just, they're dead.
Right. And this is evidence to that effect that they were going to plan on going in there and break into the Institute grounds. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. So he borrowed Wendy's car to go up there, and of course, she's developing feelings for him, which is another predictable thing. Let's be real. The hate to love trope is so common and cliched at this point, but I wouldn't have minded it if it were written better, frankly, because she had
Ex-
no reason to have a problem with him. What, Carl?
exactly. Like predictable, but on top of that, unearned. It was unearned. You know what I mean? It was just like from one thing to the next. Now she's like a concerned wife, like, "Oh, come home. What are you doing over there? It's dangerous." But it's totally unearned. What
Right.
what have they done? How much time have they spent together? The guy borrowed her car, and now she's, you know what I mean? She wants to have him come home and raise babies with her.
I know, like, it's not earned. That's the problem. I enjoy a good hate to love trope. It goes back a long way. I mean, Pride and Prejudice did it famously. It was amazing. Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorite books, and in that story, Elizabeth hates Mr. Darcy at first, and he hates her, and then they fall in love, but it's beautifully written. It's a classic. This doesn't give you any reason, any justification why she hated him in the first place. It was contrived and weird, and I said that from day one. But I also called it that from the first interaction, I called it that they were gonna have romantic feelings. It was just so obvious, but it didn't make any sense as to why she fell for him so quickly anyway. They haven't had any like significant moments or scenes together that could explain why she cares for him, other than, oh, maybe she thinks he's hot or something. I don't know. But anyway, I don't think we need to really go through that scene as much. It's just her being concerned for him and him saying he'll get out of there soon and head back with her car, basically. Okay. Sorry, I lost my place in my notes here. And I'm just scrolling down. Boo is right here. You might be able to hear her purring, actually. She's very content right now and close to the microphone. So, sorry, I'm trying to find my spot here. Boo just got even closer. Now she's wrapped around my neck like a scarf. It's really cozy, I gotta say. I love it when she does this. She hasn't been doing it as much lately because we're in a heat wave. And then she's warm and she doesn't like the hot weather. So now we have Maureen, and she knows she's in big trouble. She knows she's probably not going to get out of this alive. This guy tells her Mr. Stackhouse needs to see you in maintenance. And he's like, I'll hold your stuff. This was her trying to leave. She was supposed to leave and go meet Luke at the Red Steps. That's what she told him she would do, but she was told that Stackhouse needs to see her. She knows she's in serious jeopardy now. So that's that scene. And then, meanwhile, Luke is still slipping and sliding, running through the woods. And then we've got Stackhouse says, Stackhouse and 6B are here, and she's like, a guard says he found them in the back half rec yard. She said, I thought no one ever goes back there. And he's like, mostly they don't. So they're talking about where Luke escaped. She said, what if one of the kids had found them? So she's talking about the scissors. So when Luke was out there going under the fence, he threw the scissors away, which, Carl, you pointed out as being stupid. Why would he throw the scissors away? That was just dumb. And now they found them and they know someone cut off their tag and escaped. It's just dumb.
Yeah, why would you and you have no weapons? Why wouldn't you hang on the scissors as a just in case?
Yeah, I don't know why he threw them away. Another weird plot device.
Exactly. You know what's something that just occurred to me, and you tell me what you think. What time was it when Luke left? It was like early morning, right? Like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, something like that, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was still dark, but yeah.
Why aren't Stackhouse and Sigsby at home asleep?
I have no idea. You make a great point. I don't know. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, that's not exactly explained, is it? It's not like they got an alert and had to come in. It's like they were
No.
there the whole time.
Weird. Yes. I don't get it. They just did another big, well, they didn't just do another big keyhole thing. That was the previous episode. So I don't know. Yeah. The writing of this show is really weird sometimes, but Stackhouse said the kids back there are hardly finding shape. So he's talking about the kids in the back half. They're all spaced out and dazed, and they're too screwed up to try to escape over there because the movie nights drain them so much, and the sparkler nights especially. That's when they're taking out targets. They're using their psychic energy to assassinate people. So anyway, so he's as usual, he's being obtuse and dense. And she's the one who is smart enough to be looking into this. He's like, he never thinks anything is, this guy's the head of security, and he never thinks anything is a big deal. Like in the previous episode, Maureen was trying to like warn them about something, and he's like, oh, I have more important things to deal with, and I'm not worried about that. And it's like, dude, you're the head of security. You should be more concerned about things. He's not very bright.
Yeah, he's like the worst security ever, downplaying every possible issue.
Seriously, yeah. You know what? It's like all he cares about is selling Luke off to the highest bidder, but he should be, I mean, at least in terms of getting paid, then he should be a little more concerned. She's like, I want to know who signed them out of maintenance. So apparently, you want scissors in this joint, you got to sign them out of maintenance. I'm guessing because they know those can be used to cut off the tags on the kids' ears, which probably have tracking devices. So they keep those under lock and key, and she's the one investigating as usual instead of him. She's the smart one. She's like, there must be a record, and he said there is. She's like, and it doesn't interest you which of our employees is capable of this level of carelessness? Again, yes, she's right. He should care. And it's Maureen who did it. He said, why? So you can fire them? Julia, you can't complain about a staffing shortage and then try to fire the people you do have over every little thing. Dude, this isn't a little thing. Guess what? She was right. And this was used to help a kid escape one of their biggest assets, Luke. So he's being obtuse as usual. She's like, what happened to you? And he's like, excuse me? She says, there was a time you would have never tolerated this kind of breach. He says, if you're unhappy with my performance, you can suggest our employers let me go. You hate they gave me this place. And don't you? That's what she said. You hate they gave me this place, right? So he hates that she's in charge. So he's kind of phoning it in. And this is why he has this side deal with some third party to buy Luke. And he's developing Luke's abilities more on the side, trying to sell him off and she's got him pegged. He resents. He said, passed over for a girl you trained. He trained her, and then he got passed over for the top job, passed over for a girl. So she's accusing him of misogyny and sexism. And I think she's right. And he's been really dismissive and disrespectful of her in this season. He says, our employers in their wisdom decided we were best served with an administrator at the helm. Not my place to question it. Yeah, I don't believe him. She says, your jealousy is making you sloppy. I agree. He responds, is there something you wanted to say? Was it Dr. Hendricks? I notice you two have been spending a great deal of time together. And he's like, oh, she says, find out who dropped the fucking scissors. Anyway, so moving on from there, Maureen, she heads into this room here, and she goes to make a phone call. And while she's in there, she takes a look at the security camera, and she sees Sigsbee and Hendricks talking. And not Hendricks, sorry. She sees her and Stackhouse. So she knows she's in trouble. The walls are closing in on her. She calls her reporter friend that she told Luke about in the previous episode. She said that she has a friend who's a reporter who can tell his story. She gave him a flash drive, and now she said she was gonna go out and meet Luke herself and take him to the reporter, but now she's calling saying to the reporter, who we don't see at first. She's like, remember you said if I ever wanted to talk? Well, I got a story that makes Watergate look like a walk in the park. Anyway, I got your source all ready to go. I was going to bring him to you, but I'm afraid there's been a change of plans. Looks like I may not make it out of here. So I need you to meet him yourself. Get him somewhere safe. Make sure the world hears his story. Then I'll let him, and she says, I'll let him cover all that. You wouldn't believe me anyway. He's expecting to meet me at the Red Steps. Can you get there? So all this time, they didn't show who she was talking to, but we called it that it was going to be that reporter who's an operative for the Institute. Predictable. So predictable. Of course it was going to be her, as if she's the only reporter in town.
Super predictable.
Yeah. It was like, come on, you knew they were building up to something because it didn't show who she was talking to, and they dragged it out. This is a small town, but is it that small? Like, this is the only reporter in town. Like, she just happens to have reached out to the same reporter who's an operative for the Institute. Come on. Predictable as hell, and a really obvious plot device. But regardless, there's the reveal, as if we're supposed to be shocked, I guess. And it is fucking Kate, who killed Annie, who killed Michelle, that person in the beginning of the snatch team leader, who got Luke. She's killed 2 people already, and she's like, "Don't worry about a thing." The camera pans around her face like we're supposed to be shocked by this reveal. And she says, "You're a good person, Maureen." Maureen says, "Thanks." And it's really sad. I'm sad for her. This bitch. I was like yelling at the screen, like, come on, give me a break. It's so annoying that's the reporter who's going to go meet Luke. So then Maureen looks at the camera again, seeing Sigsbee and Stackhouse talking, and she's probably figuring that they're talking about her, and the walls are closing in. They've figured out, oh, she sees Sigsbee with the scissors right here. So she knows. That's why she makes that call. She knows she's not getting out of here alive. She knows these people are capable of murder, and they kill people all the time to cover their tracks. These people are sociopaths, and they'll kill anyone who gets in their way or risks their security or helps anyone escape or risks revealing what they're doing. I mean, so she sees them with the scissors, and so the jig is up. Luke basically helped get Maureen killed by throwing those damn scissors away, essentially. Not that Maureen was killed, but what happens next is a result of seeing this. She sees that. Okay, they've got the scissors. They're onto her now. She's the one who signed the scissors out. It should be in the log, and they're going to find out, and she knows it. So thanks, Luke. You helped Maureen wind up dead. So frustrating. It's like another plot device, a convenient plot device. Then there's over the PA system, a guard says, anyone with eyes on caretaker Alverson, that's Maureen, she's wanted in maintenance. And that's where 6B and Stackhouse were hanging out with the scissors and talking. So she knows that's it. She's got a target on her back. She's done. And she looks at that door, and that becomes significant in the next scene we see her in, unfortunately not alive. She knows this is it, so she decides to go out on her own terms, sadly. But we'll get to that scene in a bit. Then we've got a scene where Luke's running through the woods and finally comes face to face with Tim, who we all knew they were going to see. I mean, with them both running around in the woods near the Institute, this was predictable that they were going to bump into each other, of course. Tim asks if he's okay. You need some help. And Luke is too afraid to come near him. But Tim reassures him, I'm not going to hurt you. Luke's yelling, stop, don't come any closer. And he's like trying to reassure Luke. Luke asks, are you with them? He's like, am I with who? It's okay, kid. I'm a cop, okay? Well, I'm sort of a cop. I guess once a cop, always a cop for this guy. He's a night knocker now, not a full-fledged cop anymore. But it's kind of in his veins. He can't help himself. He has to intervene and try to fix things, as he once said. And I predicted from day one that he was going to be on the Institute's trail and feel the need to save those kids, especially as redemption for feeling the guilt of having to, unfortunately, shoot a 16-year-old kid who was about to shoot up a place. So this is like his redemption arc, and he'll feel the need to help even more. He said, who's done this to you? Was it one of your parents? Because he sees Luke is all banged up, of course. Luke says, no, my parents are dead. And to which he says, I'm sorry to hear that. And now Luke uses his telepathic powers to read Tim's mind. And he says, I think you're telling the truth, but I'm not strong enough to be sure. I wish Avery were here. Because Avery has the strongest telepathic powers. He's like, Tim says, you're pretty banged up, and we should get you to a doctor or a hospital. Luke tells him, I don't have time for that. Oops, this is really slow. He says, I need to get to get to a place called the Red Steps. Do you know it? And so they kind of go back and forth a little too long. I was kind of getting frustrated with how drawn out it is. He's like, you're in trouble, right? And Luke's like, you're not listening to me. I need to get to the Red Steps. You're not going to believe me anyway. He wants to know why. And then he takes off his jacket, Tim does, and he gives it to Luke because Luke was in the water and he's freezing cold. So yeah, he's trying to warm him up. It's like, it's okay. And he wants to know what's at the Red Steps. Luke says that he's supposed to be meeting someone there. It was supposed to be Maureen, but he says that's assuming Stackhouse doesn't sniff her out first, because he knows that Stackhouse could get to Maureen, and he's right. Tim's like, well, what did you say? Because he knows Stackhouse. Stackhouse is the sketchy guy who just interrogated him in the previous episode. He already suspects Stackhouse of being sketchy. And Luke says they watch their staff all the time. They're paranoid about leaks. But Tim wants to know the name. So yeah, he's like, what name did you just say? And it's Stackhouse, which he recognizes, head of security. So Tim's like, okay, yeah, he'll take him down there to the Red Steps. He says, I'll have cell reception there, and you can tell me everything on the way. You're going to tell me your whole story. But Luke keeps repeating him, repeating himself like that. You wouldn't believe me anyway. And Tim says, you'd be surprised what I might believe, because he connected with Annie, and he saw an example of Annie's telepathic powers when she knew that the Institute people used some method to bring down that plane and kill Senator Ramsey. She knew about it before it was on TV, that it was going to be called pilot error. Pilot error is what brought down the plane, and that she said they killed him, meaning Ramsey. So he's willing to believe, seemingly impossible things now. And meanwhile, Sigsbee is on the warpath looking for Maureen. Because I'm sure she checked the log and found out Maureen took the scissors. And then they were found outside near that old fence. So she put 2 and 2 together. And when she gets to this room, unfortunately, Maureen has unalived herself, which I was really disappointed by. I didn't expect that. I will say that was not predictable. She wrote, "Hell is waiting" on the floor. One last, a last face, finally, to just point out that, these people are monsters, what they're doing to these kids. I loved that final message that she left on the floor. I'll try not to show this for too long because it's a little graphic, but Sigsbee, Sigsbee finds her hanging. What a shame. I was really sorry to see that happen, and she's one of the people I'm going to be interviewing next for the Institute. This actress who plays Maureen, Jane Luck. So I'll have more to talk to her about, at least her death scene and what went into that, and so it gives me more to discuss with her for sure. But I was sorry to see this happen to her character after she helped Luke like that. I'll be really looking forward to talking to her, most likely one day next week. And then I'll let you know when I can release that. Anyway, and I'll also be interviewing Vigo, who plays Avery, the littlest child. Sigsbee says, "I hope that makes sense." Wait a minute. He said, Stackhouse said, "I suppose that makes sense," meaning her unaliving herself because she knew they were closing it. He said she made a call a few minutes ago. So he's talking about how she called their reporter operative, Kate. So he's like, she knew she wasn't going to make it out of here. And she thought she was talking to a journalist. Fortunately, instead it was Kate who works for them, their journalist. He's like, "Fortunately for our short-term survival, she called my journalist." You're welcome, by the way, because it was his idea to get a journalist on their payroll. And yeah, he said so Sigsbee says she was leaking, and he's like, "She was doing more than that. She told my agent she'd just helped a kid escape." They got too complacent. They thought it was impossible. But wait a minute. But they don't believe it, apparently. She's like, "Impossible." And he says, "Exactly. She was delusional." So they don't believe she actually helped a kid escape. But why are they worried about the scissors that were out in the yard? That's weird. Do they not believe that that a kid got out? That's so strange to me. And then Sigsbee says, "Zeke, I need a locator check." He says, "On who?" And she's like, "All of them." Stackhouse said, "I already looked. They're all here." Well, really? Did you look that thoroughly? Because Luke is missing, dumbass. Worst head of security ever. And finally, but like once again, she's on it. She's like, "Check on all of them. Check on every kid. Just do it." She's basically doing both jobs, her own job and Stackhouse's job. She's the head of security too, essentially. He's like, I'm telling you, I've been through all this. God, what a dumbass. And so apparently, based on the temperature readings, all these red spots indicate that there's a full house, according to this security guy, that they're all there. How did they pull that off? I think, oh, you know what it is? It's not the temperature readings. It's the ear tags. Luke left his ear tag in his bed when he cut it off. So those are how they track where the kids are, but I don't understand. Why would they believe this, knowing that the scissors were chucked in the yard and they should be able to, like, they were out for blood to get Maureen because of that. They should be able to figure out a kid cut the ear tag off and left it in the bed. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I don't understand that.
They should have splurged for the subdermal tracking devices, but I think those weren't on sale when they got those ear ones.
Right. Like, Carl, does it make sense to you that I don't understand this. It's contradictory. They're freaking out about the scissors and they're out to get Maureen because of it, because the scissors were outside near the fence. And yet they think that there's no problem, that all the kids are there just because the earpieces indicate it. Couldn't they figure out that he cut it off and left it in his bed?
Yeah, that would have. It's pretty obvious to anybody with a brain that you could. The fact that the kids physically see the tag and know what it's for. Why wouldn't you
Yeah,
just, why would you think that it could even fall off somehow? You know what I mean?
right. And if they were so charged up that Maureen had the scissors and the scissors were found outside near the fence, that means to me that they figured out a kid cut his tag off and probably got out. So I don't understand why Stackhouse and the security guy on the looking at the cameras think there's no problem. She's the only smart one here. She says, "Yeah, I need visual confirmation." So finally, someone with a brain, go down there and look in every room and make sure the kids are there with your look with your eyeballs and not just like using heat body temperature sensors and ear tags. I don't know.
Why wouldn't they have cameras in the room?
Yes, regular cameras, exactly. I don't get it. They treat these kids in such an inhuman way. Why not take away their privacy too and watch them while they do everything? They're evil enough to be killing kids, and I don't know. Anyway, I'll get off that rant, but Stackhouse, so he's like, "Are you serious? Like, what an idiot." Yes, they should be going and checking visually. So she says, first order of business, get someone in here, cut down Joanne. Wait, okay, yeah, she calls for Joanne. I thought she was calling Maureen Joanne. She gets on her walkie and she's like, "Joanne, I need a physical head count." Thank you, someone with a brain. And she leaves, leaving him with the task, the grunt work of. See, she's basically doing his job for him. She's being the head of security now and going to make sure a head count is done. And she's leaving him with this task of getting her cut down. Good for her. Anyway, she's like, "We're checking front half ourselves." Close the door. And that's that. And then moving on. So Luke explains about his telekinesis so he's opening up. We didn't see all that on camera, but he's opening up to Tim. He's like, telekinesis, that's like the power to move shit with your mind. He's like, "I told you wouldn't believe me." And Tim said, "Yeah, you get that from inside my head." And he's like, "But I don't need to know if it's on your face, but you read my mind. You can read my mind." He's like, Luke says, I'm not very good at it. I can't get real words, really, just feelings. I know how it sounds. And you think I'm having some sort of break with reality or maybe the beginnings of schizophrenia. But Tim is actually willing to consider it. Luke says, "Don't worry, it's what I'd think." And Tim's like, "I didn't say that. I know Stackhouse is real. The rest of it is a little weird." And then he shows Tim the flash drive. And And he says, Maureen gave it to me in case. So he's got that. He's like, you wouldn't happen to have a laptop on you, would you? Unfortunately, of course, Tim does not. And so he says he was supposed to meet Maureen and she was going to take him to a reporter to tell his story with that flash drive. He's like, oh, but she'll probably think I'm as crazy as you do. So then, so they're doing head counts on everybody, thanks to the brain power of Sigsbee. They check on Shaw. So they're going room to room, and then they find George just passed out, probably drunk because they let these kids drink on a couch. And they check on Avery. He's in his bed. The other kids don't get any lines in this episode. You just get a brief on-camera shot of them. So yeah, she's taking charge and handling everything. Visual confirmation on 28 out of 28. That can't be right. Wait a minute. This is Luke's room.
I think that's the back half. They found everybody.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So then they get to Luke's room. She's like, where exactly is the locator on subject Ellis? And dumbass Zeke, of course his name is Zeke. He's like, what do you mean, ma'am? Duh. I'm showing him directly in front of you. No, dumbass, they cut the tag off. He cut the tag off. Is that so hard to figure out? Range less than 2 meters. He's not in the fucking bed. Of course they cut the tag. He cut the tag off. The scissors were found outside near the fence. And she's smart enough to have figured this out. She finds it in his bed. There it is. Duh. This kind of stuff is just getting on my nerve. This episode really frustrated me. Well, before I move on, let me just check in with you guys. Hey there, Diviners Ember. Esoterically, scissors can symbolize various concepts, such as cutting away negativity, making important decisions, or initiating new beginnings. They can also represent the power to separate, discern, or even sever ties, both physically and metaphorically. Wow, I love that. Thank you for that explanation. Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about the symbolic value, meaning of those scissors. But yeah, there was some the movie Us by Jordan Peele. It used scissors as a kind of like logo or something, and it represented a lot. Like it was a symbolic meaning to it too. Anyway, let me see. Let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see. Hey, Scarlett. Scarlett had a live earlier for Wednesday that she covers with Jamie, the Sci-Fi Vision channel on Thursday nights. And it was also a birthday stream, or an early birthday stream for Scarlett. I think her birthday is next week. But happy early birthday to Scarlett. Hope you have a really nice birthday, and hope you enjoy your stream with Jamie. And Shadow said if they live somewhere on campus and was trying to figure out the HVAC system and the sabotage, then Stackhouse probably got notice from that reporter chick. I don't know. He seems to linger around. Yeah, I get the feeling they live on campus somewhere. They don't leave there much. They probably live on the grounds. Bill said Stackhouse is playing dumb with Sigsbee. Sabotage. Oh, okay. So maybe he's just playing dumb. Okay. But you would think, though, that he would care more about the kid who he wants to sell off to the highest bidder possibly being missing. That's the thing I don't understand. He cares a lot about that. He wants to profit from it. So he's got a personal motive. Anyway, Carl here in the chat said, scissors get signed out. No, but no big deal. You find them loose on the grounds. Stackhouse, more like Waffle House. Yes, Could not agree with that more. So, thanks for dropping a like, Scarlett. Appreciate you. Okay. Just gotta skim through really quick. She said, why did Luke throw the scissors and not take them with him as a weapon? Exactly what we were saying earlier. 100%. Foreshadowing door. Yep. Because they showed that door that she wound up hanging from, Maureen. And then in the next scene, there she was. Maureen always go out fighting. Yeah, Bill. She threw in the towel, unfortunately, but she knew that they were going to kill her in probably a worse way than the way she went out. She would end up going up the chimney, as they say. Bill said at least Dale went through the faraway tree. Yeah, right. It was kind of an underwhelming way for her to die, I will admit. It wasn't dramatic. If they had to kill her off, it's too bad they did it that way. Scarlett said, I thought they might miss each other in the woods. I'm a night knocker, not a cop, Jim. Yeah. Yeah, right. She could have blown something up at least in the front half. Yeah, Maureen could have done something big, something else on her way out. That's true. But at least she got Luke out. Doc said the book is really poorly written. Good story, but poorly written, and I suspect King is going senile. There were a few inconsistencies in the book, like character ages, also George's last name. Oh, so he's lost his touch. Well, that explains it. Bill said at night, a knocked nighter. Hell, oh, hi, Samuel. Doc said in the book is Iris, and there's a character named Iris, which gets confusing because King likes to call George Iris rather than simply using his first name. Weird, yes. Luke jumps off a train, hits his head on a pole, and Tim and the motel guy see it and come to his rescue. Huh. Yeah, that's different in the book. TP, TK, PC, AP, astral projection. Oh, you think they do that too, Bill? Okay. Best character is still Annie. 100%, Bill. And check out my interview with Mary Walsh, who plays Annie, if you haven't already. I just premiered it a few hours ago. Bill said, damn door was made from a faraway tree. Yeah. Doc said the hanging scene was very accurate to the book, including the dialogue. Doc said strange things did happen here. No stranger would it be if we met at midnight at the faraway tree. She leaked, she died. Indeed, Carl. Saggy Star. Bill said she's planning on taking credit for recapturing Luke, I think. Yeah, if you mean Sigsbee, I would agree. Ear tags on sale. Doc says in the book, the security systems are so old, and the security people are so lazy and just coasting that it takes them until basically the next evening to realize Luke is gone. That's crazy to me. These are really important assets. They say that they're trying to save the world, and maybe they are. Maybe they really are using these kids to take out dangerous people and saving the world in the process. You'd think they'd have better security. Hey there, Steve. Should have implanted an Apple AirTag. Excellent customer service department for situations just like this. Oh, okay. Nice to see you, Steve. Doc says because they are keeping children captive, they worry more about securing the place from outside than interior security. True, but once they, yeah, I guess they figure that, okay, once they're outside, they won't get out. But what about that rusty fence and the easy way you can crawl under it? So if you don't cover interior security, then you got to make sure that fence is intact out there.
It works both ways, Julie, because yeah, you gotta maybe you focus on outside people getting in because you're under like Doc is saying, you're underestimating the kids, but the kids could get out too, and then you're also fucked. You're fucked either way. You can't let things go in or out.
Right. Exactly. And Doc said they underestimate the kids. They absolutely do. These kids have psychic powers. They just figure, oh, if we get them to the back half as soon as they start strengthening their powers of telekinesis and telepathy, then we can keep them under control because we turn them into zombies over there with those movie nights. and maybe they're drugging him over there too, but they underestimate the kids because Luke snuck over there, and this is how he got out. They let that fence go, and they weren't, because they figured, oh, the kids can't get out there. They said it in this episode in the back half. They're not up to getting out there. But Luke was, because he snuck over there in the laundry cart with Maureen. So yes, Doc, they underestimate the kids, and Luke is a freaking genius. Anyway, Dieter said tonight at 10 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. Eastern, watch party in Julie's Discord, mine, of course. Send in your requests. We can watch multiple movies. So yes, let's do that. Absolutely. Steve said City of Ember for the watch party. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of that, Carl?
Isn't that like the City of Ember? That's one of those like young adult deals, isn't it? Like what was that? Shadow and Bone, and there's another one that I'm thinking of. But I think I think I've heard of it.
Right. Okay. Please hit the like button, guys, if you have not done so. And if you're not subscribed, if anyone's listening is not subscribed, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. Right now, I keep hovering between 1.94K and 1.95K. It keeps going back and forth. So I don't know what's going on. I keep gaining a sub and losing a sub. I don't know. I don't know why people are unsubbing, but it's kind of going up and down. So make sure you're subscribed. I would appreciate that. We'll do a fun celebratory stream when I hit 2K. Bill said that would be 28 out of 29. Right. They didn't. That's right. Either that or they assumed Luke was in his bed. So they said 28 out of 28. I don't know. Dieter said Stephen Gourmet Havoc straight from Stephen's Flaming Laser Spork Gourmet Havoc straight from the cork. Say Shadow Skulk said I gotta go. All our loves and well wishes to all of y'all. It's always fantastic to catch you, Julie, Carl, and everyone here. Well, thank you. It is always fantastic to have you here. You always spread kindness and love, and I truly appreciate that contribution to our community. So have a good night. Sleep well. Scarlett's birthday is, I always forget dates, so apologies that I can never remember dates. Scarlett's birthday is August 16th, the same as Doug Hughes. That's right. Coming up tomorrow. Doc said also in the book, they usually don't try to grab kids with psychic abilities that are too strong for that particular program. Avery is one of their stronger grabs. If their abilities are too strong, it doesn't work as well for that program and the hum. Okay, gotcha. Bill says Stackhouse has to make Sigsbee look inept and let the escape happen so he can get credit for the recapture of Luke or take him for some other project. Okay. All right. I'll buy that explanation. It's risky though. He's assuming that they can grab him. Anyway, they all float up here. Yeah, it's similar to we all go up the chimney, as they said in this show. And incidentally, speaking of they all float, I will be covering Welcome to Derry in October for you It fans. I think that's going to be a much stronger show as far as a work of Stephen King. It's not based on a Stephen King book. It's a prequel to his book It, but I think it's going to be. I don't think there is any book that this show is based on. It's new material inspired by his book. Anyway, Carl dropped the link to my interview with Mary Walsh, who plays Annie. Thank you, Carl. Please check that out, guys. If you haven't, you will not regret it. It is hilarious. She's so freaking funny and kind and interesting. And you and Dieter did that at like literally almost the same moment. Thank you to both of you for dropping the links. And to support the channel, I am not monetized and I don't have memberships or super chats. So if anyone is so inclined, these are ways to support. Dieter dropped the link to my Cashapp and Venmo for people in the States. And on PayPal, he has a PayPal that is set up for my account, for my channel rather. And if you leave a comment with my name in it, then that will go to me. Or there's also Buy Me a Coffee, which is another international way to support. Thanks for dropping those links, Dieter. Those links are also in the description of this video. And even the smallest amount helps. Every little bit helps, absolutely, like Dieter said. And I truly appreciate anything. It doesn't matter how small, it's all appreciated. And yes, he donated some last week. And thank you again for that. Doc said in the book, before the escape, Sigsbee is already worrying about the security and trying to beef it up, and the staff have become too comfortable since they've been going for 60 years with no escapes. Okay. Yeah. They've gotten complacent in this too. All right. Julie does the helicopter dance. Yeah, that's not happening when I hit 2K. But we'll have a fun celebratory stream. Doc says I will be on Full Aussie podcast to fap with Mr. Grant Gregory, Miss J, and their friends. Awesome. This Saturday morning. Doc, share the link if you're still in the chat. Share the link to it. That's awesome. I'm sure that'll be a good time, and I'll have to catch the replay when I can. Because I won't be able to watch it live. But thank you for reminding us about that. That's awesome. Hope you have fun. And definitely share the link here so people can find it. And subscribe to our friend, Mr. Grant Gregory. He created the AI video for this channel that I showed at the start of the live. In the description of this video, you'll see the links to both Doc and Mr. Grant Gregory's channels. Please support our friends, our awesome friends, Doc and Grant, and subscribe to their channels. Let's see. And Dieter dropped the link to Mr. Grant Gregory's channel and the link to the live. So Doc, he already took care of it for you. There it is. Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing the helicopter dance with tassels. Strong with the tassels, this one is. Yeah. Nope. Not in a million years. Like, I wouldn't even be doing that in private, let alone anywhere else. But no judgment to those who do. Hey, live and let live. Let's see. So
Not even private?
not even what?
Not even in private, you'd do the tassel dance?
I don't know. It depends on the circumstance, I guess. Maybe. Maybe. Doc said I will be on.
I mean, I would, just letting people know.
Okay. All right. Doc said I will be on Mr. Grant's live stream. Okay, so it'll be around 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Awesome. And he dropped the link as well. There we go. Awesome. Dieter said I donated some memberships to the Full Aussie channel of Mr. Grant Gregory. Well, that was very kind of you. Doc said, full warning, Full Aussie podcast makes fun of everything and everyone, including ourselves. Nothing said there should be taken seriously. Cool. Well, that sounds like fun. We should all make sure we have a sense of humor and not take things too seriously. Life is hard enough as it is. I believe in just, having a sense of humor about stuff. Anyway, so only for the mirror. I would never want to be doing that self-care tassel dance. Yeah, maybe. So getting back to the breakdown here. Let's see where we're at. So we've got Tim here, and he wants to take a look at Luke's ear, which Luke thinks can wait. Like they need to keep moving, because it's a wide open wound. I was saying that last week that needs stitches. It's gonna get infected. He's right. Who knows what's in that river? So Luke is like, look up my name. You got Signal? Luke Ellis, Minneapolis. So he looks it up, and boom, couple found dead in Minneapolis home, son missing. And then it says that it was murder, suicide, or mystery deepens as teen son. Oh, this is a new article. Not like the one from last week that just said murder-suicide and that Luke was a person of interest. This one says, mystery deepens as teen son linked to Minneapolis double homicide. So they're zeroing in on him even more now. They put him in the title of the article. Yikes, I didn't notice that till this moment. They really do consider him as a suspect now. Person of interest is just another word for a suspect. And then Tim isn't buying it, clearly, because he goes over and just gives a bear hug to Luke, which I just felt kind of out of place. He like holds his head like as if this is a little child and not almost a grown-up young adult. He's almost as tall as Tim. Anyway, it shows his compassion. He offers his condolences about the loss of his parents, and he says Minneapolis PD says you're a person of interest. And Luke's like, what? So you're supposed to detain me now? And Tim just doesn't even answer and calls the chief. He's like, I've got an emergency here. And then the call drops, loses signal. They should have signal here, according to Tim. Like in that spot, they should. And Luke says it's them. Though, so they're jamming. I've said this all along, that they're jamming the cell signals out there. I don't think it's just that they're in the woods. They're jamming the signals. He's like, it's them. They know I'm gone. We've got to warn Maureen. Asking how far are the red steps. And Tim's arguing with him, like, no, you can't expect it to, take you down there right now. And Luke tries to go off by himself, and Tim stops him. He's like, okay, I believe you. I believe your story. I just want to help. So if you can read minds, look into mine and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. And that's quite a superpower indeed. Luke says, okay, Luke reads his mind and he's like, you don't really believe me. Not about all of it, but you do want to help. So, yeah, so he's willing to trust him, and at least somewhat. He's like, but the best thing you can do right now is help me find Maureen. If I'm making it up, there'll be no one out there anyway. So he agrees to take him down, but he's like, okay, we're gonna deal with your ear first. And then they're cutting down in this scene. They're cutting down Maureen, and really callous about it too. Stackhouse is overseeing it, and they lay her out, and this asshole, as usual, being an asshole, Tony, he's like very flip about it. I'm guessing she goes up the chimney. Stackhouse says, as opposed to what? A proper burial? And Tony says, where do we keep her till then? And you had said, Carl, that maybe, his flip attitude, say, I'm guessing she goes up the chimney. What were you thinking about that?
And it's the second time he mentions the chimney. I think this is foreshadowing that he's gonna go up the chimney, hopefully.
God, I hope so. He is my least favorite on the show because he's such an asshole and he's sadistic the way he enjoys these kids suffering. So they're gonna keep her in the security office and not say a word to anyone right now. They're literally gonna just keep her there in the office. Like, you might want to like try to find a freezer or something, because that's not gonna be a good smell soon. So they're wondering. He's wondering if Sigsbee is gonna call him the mystery man. He looks over at that retro phone and he's like, you gonna call him? Who the hell is this mystery man? Why haven't they shown his face? And what is the deal with him and the picture of him shaking hands with Kennedy and not Kennedy, Reagan, President Reagan, and George W. Bush? It's weird that they don't show his face, but we see who it is in the credits. It's the guy who played the pilot on Lost. So it's just strange, the mystery surrounding this. Who is this guy? He has ties to the highest levels of government, having connections with those presidents. And to me, I think that means that this institute is affiliated with the government in some kind of black op way, maybe a CIA black op that even the FBI doesn't know about, which is why they were worried an FBI agent could be sniffing around, that maybe Tim is FBI. That's what I'm thinking right now, but who knows?
I agree with that. What if when we see his face, he's got like serpent eyes or something?
Ooh. Serpent eyes, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
like he's putting in his contacts so that it looks normal, but we get to see that he's got, he's one of the lizard people.
One of the lizard people. That would be. Hey, that would at least explain why they're not showing his face. So maybe, I mean, if your alien theory is correct, maybe they're not showing his face because he's in his alien form in that office. And find out that he's alien.
While he's in maybe that office is in the UFO, and while he's in there, he's just relaxing with his alien face.
Could be, because he met presidents before, so he might be able to disguise himself, for that kind of stuff. It's just weird that they haven't shown his face, so maybe it is something like that. She says, there's not a world. Oh, wait, no, he says, is that her or him? She's like, there's not a world in which this falls on only one of us.
Was that her? I think that was him. That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was him. Because he says, first escape in 70 years. She's like, understood. Plenty of blame is spread around. And the second I pick up that phone, we're both going up the chimney with Maureen. So yeah, they'll be taken out. Stackhouse says, of course, there's a chance if we bring the boy back quickly enough, we never have to make that call. If we bring him back alive, my asset has orders not to damage him more than necessary. So he said it again, damage him like he's a commodity and not a human being, dehumanizing him. It's bizarre. So at the very least, that means these people are just sociopaths. And she's like, can she handle that? A 14-year-old boy? Well, she says, can she handle that? Meaning Kate is out there trying to get Luke. And he's like, a 14-year-old boy? I'd think so. As usual, he's underestimating every threat. He's like, I'm about to take a team to back her up. Sigsbee says, I'll do it. See, she keeps signing up to do everything herself because she knows that this guy's incompetent and can't be relied upon. He's like, this is a field operation. It hasn't been that long, and I need you here anyway to hold down the fort in case the kids have some other thing planned. And he's like, just remember, you said it yourself. There's no version of this where only one of us goes down. And I know whose head will come off and roll the. And I think she's the one who says, I know whose head will come off first and roll the farthest. So I don't remember if it was him or her that said it, but yeah, he knows that, if this goes south, they're both dead. Both of them are acutely aware of that. Meanwhile, Tim and Luke trek through the forest to the Red Steps, and he says, hang back here, and he's like, if anything happens, you make your way to Dennison and talk to Chief John Ashworth. He'll help you. So he goes off to check out, whoever is meeting with him there. He has Luke hide, and he goes down there. Then Luke doesn't listen to him and gets closer. He thinks it's Maureen, and nope, it is Kate, the reporter, of course, in her place. And he's like, Kate the Great. They met in a bar before and talked, so they already know each other. And I was just freaking out like at this. I thought like this is it. They're gonna take Luke right back to the Institute. That was a short-lived escape, but I was glad to be wrong when I watched this scene. You know, he wants. Sorry, what?
Julie, don't you think that Kate the Great, as far as a name, is pretty lame?
Yes, it is. So, yeah. He asks what she's doing out there, and she says, Maureen sent me. I guess that means you've seen the boy. And he denies it, saying, what boy? Because he's smart to not just blindly trust her. She's like, I just told you Maureen sent me here to see a boy. She said that she just helped him escape from the place she works and wants me to help him blow the whistle. He says on the Sasquatch breeding, because she was saying stuff like that, like that's all that's going on at the Institute as a joke. She says, and then she responds, to be honest, I thought she'd lost it completely and that I'd come out here and not find shit. But then you show up asking for Maureen. So she's like pretending she's starting to believe there's a threat and she's going to help. And then she yells, figuring that Luke is probably back there hiding, like, hey, Maureen sent me. I'm a reporter. She wants me to tell your story. Did she tell you that? And I was just yelling at the screen when he came out of hiding. He comes out and he's like, she did, actually. She's telling the truth. She introduces herself and pretends to be, trying to help, of course, but you can't fool this kid because he's telepathic. She says that we got to get you somewhere safe, but he knows she's hiding something and shielding. He can sense that she's shielding. The people who work for the Institute are taught ways to shield their thoughts. He says, you were telling the truth before about Maureen, but he's like, something's changed, meaning she's not there to help. She's not there to get him somewhere safe, and he can tell she's shielding her thoughts. She pretends to be, she plays dumb, and then her phone rings, and that tips them off that she must be working for the Institute because no one else has cell service out here. Why does she? Because she has a sat phone. She has a satellite phone. I'm pretty sure it's a satellite phone that can work out there because they jam the signals so no one else has service when they're on the grounds or anywhere near there. So he's like, your phone works out here? Yeah, that's sus. And Luke says, Stackhouse. She knows Stackhouse. She's one of them. I think he might have picked that up from her thoughts. Maybe she let her guard down because the phone ringing threw her off. She knew that was sus to them. And maybe she wasn't shielding and she was thinking about Stackhouse. I think because Stackhouse called her and he picked up on it. She got lax with shielding. So, yeah, she tries to play it off, but then she draws her gun and but thankfully she doesn't succeed in taking them out because Luke uses his telepathic powers. Telekinetic powers. And I got to say, I was so glad to finally see one of these kids actually do something impressive with their telekinesis, because if they have these powers, it's kind of a waste in a story like this not to have them use it in an impressive way. All we saw before this was a kid, George, making water levitate from his glass. Big deal. I say it's about time Luke made this tree branch snap. I was like, this is great. This is what we need. Stephen King wrote Firestarter about a young girl with pyrokinetic powers? And they showed that all the time, what she was able to do. So Luke made the tree snap and caused her to fall into the water, and she hit her head on the way down. So she did. Good reason. My bitch. My action. There she is, floating. We all float down here. Good. I could not stand her. She took out my favorite character, Annie. She took out someone else before that. Good riddance. I was so relieved. I thought she was going to cart this kid right back to the Institute when I saw her show up. He's like, well, I guess they got Maureen. He's assuming they killed her, and they were going to, I'm sure. But he's like, why only send one to intercept me? That is odd, only sending one. But Stackhouse said that he's got a team on the way to help. So yeah, Tim notices like, oh, that was you, making the tree snap. All right, so that now he's more of a believer. They go get in the car. Luke says we should head for a big city with an FBI office and a TV station. Smart. That's what they should be doing. I don't know if they can trust the local people there. Like, I really don't. This was a bad idea to go to town. But Tim says somebody died and they need to go to the police and find the chief. But, Luke points out that woman shot at you. So it's frustrating, but Tim is operating in a by the book manner. But Luke is right to say that clearly the Institute's got agents embedded into the local population. He's using his genius brain here. It is not smart to go back to Dennison. Who knows who else could be on the payroll? And guess what? By the end of the episode, he's right. There's another operative on the scent, as we will see in the end, who is now, tracking Luke, and it's frustrating but I know it's there wouldn't be much of a story if they just escaped now and blew the whistle. So yeah, they have to make the dumb decision to go back to town, or I should say Tim makes the decision. Luke also says, don't you think the chief, he wonders about the chief. So do I do too. Annie herself said maybe the chief's in on it. Maybe they were all in on it. Now, that's wrong. I don't think they're all in on it. And maybe the chief isn't, but I got my eye on him. Luke says, Tim's like, yeah, the chief's not dirty. And Luke says, I bet you would have said the same about Kate the Great before she tried to kill you. Touché. Tim says, I met her one time. The chief, I know, he's solid. Look into my mind if you don't believe me. And Luke very rightly pointed out, looking into your mind doesn't tell me whether it's true. It just tells me you believe it. Yes, 100%. That's not proof of anything. And I don't trust the chief. I'm still giving him some side eye. Now, I don't have a lot to go on with that. Just some weird looks between the chief and one of his cops after Tim suspected Annie had been murdered and left. And also the fact that Annie didn't trust the chief. That makes me not trust him. So, yeah. So Luke is like, you sure we can trust the chief? You're ready to die on that hill? And Tim says, yeah. So Luke's like, oh, sure, hope you're right. Otherwise, we both die on that hill. For real. Now, I think what may end up happening is that for once, this show won't be obvious, and maybe the chief is not dirty, but there is an operative in the vicinity, in the proximity to the chief, who is on the Institute's payroll, and we'll see by the end of the episode who that is. Sigsbee goes out right hands-on with, once again, doing everybody's jobs for them, helping to go look for Luke now. So they found the asset's vehicle. The asset is Luke, I guess. It wasn't his, but Tim was taking him somewhere in it. So they're kind of poking around, looking. And they see the satellite phone. They see that's the satellite phone. It looks weird and wonky and old-fashioned, I think, because it's a satellite phone. That would work, even though the Institute jams the signals for everybody else. So they know something happened to Kate. And then she uses that phone to make a call. She's like, turns out your reporter wasn't up to it after all. And she's right. Stackhouse once again screwed up, just sending one person down there and waiting too long to send a team. Stackhouse goes in and meets up with Hendricks, wanting to talk about their little side deal. And he's like, a word about Ms. Sigsby. So Hendricks is a nervous wreck as usual, stammering, stuttering. He's like, how about this? The two of you can have each other. Just leave me out of it. And he's like, Hendricks says, we have 2 kids left in front half. Do you have any idea what happens when we run out? No more conveyor belt, no more replacing conductors. So they've said this before. They need to keep the they need to keep the conveyor belt running. That means they need to keep procuring more kids and sending them to back half, because in back half, they don't last that long. They burn out. They get drained of their energy as they use their psychic powers to assassinate people. And then that's why they keep needing more kids. They have more targets to assassinate. Every keyhole brings us one step closer to the end. So every keyhole is a target, an assassination target. That's what I've gleaned from this. The keyhole opening is a metaphor for the window of time in which they can kill that target.
But Julie, what does brings us that much closer to the end? What's the end?
That's what I'm not sure about. This means there's some kind of end game, and I don't know. What do you think?
I wonder whether brings us to the end, meaning they need to do some certain things because they do have somebody who can have some precog and knows, like, hey, you need to do this so that this doesn't happen. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, but
because how does precog relate to what they're doing?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. They have some kind of big end game in mind, and I mean, and these two have a side deal where they want to sell Luke to the highest bidder, and they're not even really loyal to the Institute anymore. So are they talking about their end game or the Institute's end game? I wonder.
Or the world's end game. Dun dun dun.
So I think we're coming close to the end here. I'll just check in with the chat for a few minutes. Let's see. So J. Dean, hey there, nice to see you. She said, is the Institute, and she says, hi Julie, long time, hope you're well. Thank you. I'm as well as I can be. Every day is a battle with my health conditions, but I'm doing as well as can be expected. I'm doing really well right now. Thank you, and I hope you're doing well too. And the Institute, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it's like top tier, my favorite show. It's like or among my favorites, but I'd say it's worth checking out. It has a really interesting story, and I'm enjoying it. So yes, I would recommend it. Is it like one of Stephen King's best ever? Well, he's got a great body of work, so I don't know if I'd say that, but it's definitely worth a watch. Like Scarlett said, it's worth a watch. So Like Doc said, I like it, but it's not King's best work. Yes, I agree. He says, I'm a Jack Bender and King fan, though, and Bender did a fantastic job adapting it. It's better than the book. Absolutely. Jack Bender is amazing. He also is a showrunner and director on From, and he did a great job. So recommend it. Yes, give it a try for sure. Here's the link to Noah's, our friend here, Noah King, his YouTube channel. He's a rapper. He does battle rap. So check out his channel if you are into that. He's an awesome member of the Quality React community who I met over there. So check out his channel and throw him some support if you like rap. And good luck to you, Noah, with that. And I hope you get noticed by that label you sent your battle rap to. Carl said her name was lame, and so was her with her cornrowed mane. Yeah, indeed. Kate, meaning Kate, of course. And Dieter, okay, so Noah said, Dieter, my YouTube channel is up and running. Awesome. Glad to hear it. And we're always happy to support. Always happy to support other content creators. Doc said, oh, Pandecolima, you're of the right generation. You might also appreciate the megas. Their history repeating albums are amazing, especially Blue. Oh, okay. Is that something you've heard of or are into, Carl?
No, that's something new that I'd have to check out.
Oh, okay. Cool. So J. Dean said, I hope you will be covering Welcome to Derry, Julie. Yes, I am. I have been waiting, chomping at the bit to cover that show since I started my channel almost a year ago. Welcome to Derry was teased a year ago. It said coming in 2025, and I have been waiting so long for this show to finally come out. We don't even have an exact date yet, and we're so close to October when it's coming out. They still haven't told us a date. What the heck? Make up your minds, people. Yes, I cannot wait. I love it. I love the two It movies starring Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Absolutely awesome. And this is going to be a great prequel. I just can feel it. The fact that they got Bill Skarsgård again as Pennywise is a great sign. And so I will be doing live streams and also deep dive videos covering that show. So you can bet on that in October, whenever they decide to drop it. Good time for Halloween is good timing too for that. Pandecolima says she wanted to lick the rapper. What? Wait, what? What rapper does she want to lick?
Lil Wayne, just like Bill Chill. That's from that one song. I forget.
Oh.
Because you said Noah is a battle rapper, so then I just put she wanted to lick the rapper, and then Bill got the reference.
Oh, okay. The reference went over my head as a new fan of the genre. We have a channel in my Discord to discuss the new show, It, Welcome to Derry. And of course, that'll be, I'm sure, more active once the show actually comes out. But that's a place where we'll announce stuff about my coverage of it, and anyone who wants to discuss it can do that in there. Lollipop. What's that a reference to, Bill?
That's the Lil Wayne song.
Oh, got it.
Okay. And from him also that era, Mrs. Officer. Have you heard that song from him?
No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Said her number was 911. Yeah, I like that song too.
Okay. Oh, I'm like searching for my phone and I was sitting on it. Okay.
Yeah, and then he also says, she said she told me to fuck the police.
Name of the Lil Wayne song. Okay. Yes, it was a Lollipop song from the 50s too. That's the Lollipop song I know. Yeah, Lollipop, Lollipop. You know, we all know that song.
Are you in Scarlet White?
You'd think? Yes, we are. There's a really hilarious scene from Cheers when Norm and Cliff, they were doing karaoke in the bar, and Norm and Cliff inhaled helium Don't try this at home, kids. Not a good idea. But Norman Cliff inhaled helium and they sang Lollipop karaoke. Really funny. Samuel said, Ms. Police Officer. Oh, yes. So moving forward. So yeah, what does this mean? One step closer to the end. Any ideas in the chat? If you guys have any ideas on what this means, what is the end game? Are they talking about their side deal end game, these two, or the Institute's end game with these keyholes, meaning, assassination targets? What is going on? Are they really trying to save the world, but doing it in a messed up way with these kids? The ends justify the means in their eyes. I say, if saving the world means torturing, experimenting on, and killing children, this world it shouldn't be saved. Like, it's time for the world to be done then, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, he's like, these are long view problems. And Kendrick, oh my God, I have Kendrick on the brain. Hendricks says the rate we've been going through keyholes, I guess it depends on how you define long. So they have a lot of keyholes, a lot of assassination targets, apparently. A lot of them, and they don't have enough kids to handle this. The conveyor belt is not going to keep moving. What a weird way to describe that. Anyway, that's another way of dehumanizing the kids. A conveyor belt transports stuff they're commodities. That's all they are to these people. In a factory, that's it. So he's like, it's why the first thing in every lab report is to define your terms. At the moment, I'd call a long view problem anything that doesn't relate to us surviving the day. So that he really feels like they are in big trouble. Like, they're in danger of getting caught with their little side deal. And Stackhouse, as usually, is obtuse. Like, why wouldn't we survive the day? Everybody is smarter than Stackhouse, I swear to God. Hendricks is smarter than him too. He's like, your lady friend is out there right now and trying to make herself the hero of this mess so she can hang it around our necks, meaning Sigsbee, who hooks up with Hendricks here in the kitty toy storage closet. Weird. He's like, not mine. Due respect, I'm not in charge of security. Indeed, Hendricks. Freaking Stackhouse is, and it's his job, and he's shitty at it. He's like, Stackhouse says, do you really think the committee will put this down to a security failure? Yeah, it is. It's your job to run security, and you're doing a shit job of it. And who's this committee? So they never referred to it as the committee before. Is that the same as upstairs? And then he's like, after Harry Cross and the twins, Harry was that bully who hit the little girl in the head, and I'm sure he's dead now, and so are the twins. He's like, you've seen how they operate. They'll decide this place has a culture of mismanagement. Means either you replace the head coach or her assistants. So they'll just figure, they'll blame all of them. Like, this is a culture of mismanagement. It's not just about security. After what happened with Harry and the twins, and the three of those kids winding up dead so quickly. Yeah. So Stackhouse says she wouldn't, trying to defend her. And Stackhouse is like, of course she would. So would you. So would I. In the end, they're all out to protect themselves. When it comes down to it, there's no limit to what you'll do to survive. Stackhouse is right about that. They're all going to sell each other out, sell each other down the river, if that's what it meant to survive. And Stackhouse says, whatever happens, when the time comes, you back whatever story I tell. So that's his plan. He's like, we present ourselves as the fix for Sigsbee's culture. So they're going to try to hang that on her neck. That she's the problem. She's the one responsible. And he's like, he said, if we're in charge, he said, right the ship. If we're in charge, there will be no one to snitch to. So Hendricks says this, sorry. Hendricks says, if we're in charge, There will be no one to snitch to upstairs about us trying to develop a PC. So there we go, another upstairs reference. And it almost kind of looked like he looked up when he said it too. Again. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it literally is above them. I don't know. It's very weird. And so yeah, they're doing their own side deal again. Maybe they can make it so that they blame this failure on this escape of Luke on Sigsbee, and then they can wind up running the show, and there will be no one to snitch about how they're developing a precog kid. So that's that. So like they're like, okay, for now, let's just try to see tomorrow. You know, take it one day at a time here, so they don't both wind up going up the chimney in the next day. No, and this is the final. I believe this is the final scene. So Norbert is here. Norbert is the guy who runs the local hotel, and I'm not sure what he's doing here, but he's there, and he says, he's like talking to the chief, saying, "Well, that's exactly my predicament, chief. I don't know what predicament brought him there, but he happens to be there, and this is going to be significant. By the way, I'm going to be interviewing him too, so I'm really excited. I'm most likely going to be interviewing him too. We haven't locked down a date. The guy who plays Norbert in the next scene, I'm psyched because this means he's going to be a more important character than it seemed, and finally they're giving him something to do other than pet his iguana." So he's talking to the chief. The chief says, "Mr. Hollister, I'm a little busy policing a whole town without any communication." And then we've got Tim and Luke saying, this boy needs help. They sit him down, and, he's like, okay. Chief's like, who is he? What's going on? And so there he is. There's Mr. What's his name? Norbert here. I don't remember his last name, but Norbert. His agent got back to me and said that he would do an interview with me. I just have to lock down a day for that. And it has to be, I think it has to be past a certain date. So it won't be next week. It'll probably be the week after. If we can find a date that works. So that's still tentative. It's not 100% locked down until we can find a date that works for both of us. But at any rate, his name is Brendan Baser, and he's looking on. He happens to be in the police station at this time, which I find kind of convenient. But we'll get to that. So the chief notices that Luke needs some serious medical help. His ear is really torn up, clearly, and he's banged up. But Tim says you got to listen to what he has to say first. Norbert says he's going to go to get the doc, and he starts to leave. Norbert Hollister, that's his name. So, the chief wants to hear the story, and he's got a flash drive. Luke's got a flash drive that should back it up. So Luke is saying, like, you're better off looking at the flash drive first. It'll save time. He knows the chief won't believe him otherwise, and he doesn't even know what's on it. But he hands it over, and so they do this. Once again, there's like a lot of hold up and just do it already. He's like, oh, I don't know, just put the flash drive in. He's like, what's on it? Are you kidding? Like, are you worried about the virus? The viruses are gonna attack your computer? I mean, this is a police station, so it should have antivirus protection. I just found all the lagging and waiting around in this episode, the hesitation in a lot of scenes, dragging them out I find that very annoying personally. But he puts the flash drive in, and he starts to get ready to open it. And he says, oh, it's some kind of video, but we don't know what it is yet. So that's our little cliffhanger. We'll see that in the next episode, the penultimate episode of the season, episode 7. There are only 8. So we're getting close to the end here. And I think this will be a game changer as to what is on this flash drive. I don't know what exactly it could be, but it's definitely, I think it's going to expose some of what the Institute is up to with the kids. And it'll be it's going to be a mind-blowing thing for sure. And I'm starting to think, based on this little scene, based on this, I don't think the chief is in on it right now. I'm leaning away from the idea that the chief is in on a cover-up of the Institute or that he's an operative. I don't think he is anymore. I had my eye on him. I thought he was sus, but I think that was kind of a red herring. I think we were supposed to suspect him. I mean, ever since Annie said maybe he's in on it, I think he's probably not. And I think because the real reveal was here. This guy is in on it. And he happened to be in the scene with them. They're not going to reveal like yet another operative in the next episode as the chief. I don't think. This is another person on the Institute's payroll. He says, I have eyes on the boy, to someone on a phone. And finally, we find out that this guy actually has relevance other than just being there to be quirky and pet his iguana. So I'm so glad, because I was like, otherwise these are just throwaway scenes. And they still kind of are, but it gave us, at least it gave us like some screen time for this guy. And it kind of makes you think, oh, he's just a nobody, just there to be quirky and offbeat. But this was one thing I didn't predict. I will say I kind of suspected he was potentially shady because Annie didn't trust him. She said, I don't like him. He queers my reception to Tim. And it's like, I don't know. It's like there's something she senses via her psychic powers, which she definitely has, telepathy. And so something's off about her reception of her telepathy when he's around. So I did think that he was sus as a result of that, but I was starting to think maybe not, because they were taking forever to do something with this character. Anyway, I'm really glad to see this reveal. It's a much needed surprise. A nice little twist that it's not the chief who's an operative. Maybe it could be both, but maybe not him. And they probably have operatives all over town, though. Anyway, now this was stupid. This was so stupid. Luke was right. They should have gone to a major city and gone to the FBI or something, because he was right. This town is full of operatives, I'm sure. And one of them is that dude, Norbert. So that's the end of that. So now, Norbert is on his trail. Not good. So that is the end of that episode. We're going to wrap this up in a couple of minutes here. But I'll just check in with you guys one more time. And let's see, where did I leave off? See, Bill Chill said, no idea. The end game. Absorbing and storing their psychic powers for a PC, maybe. Okay. Could be. Scarlett said, I'm mixed, but oh well. Doc said, after the live covering the finale, I would love to join for a live afterwards that wraps up the whole season and discuss the book differences and stuff. Might also be good to get on a King expert like Critter. I would love that, Doc. Absolutely. Absolutely. We will do that. 100%. That would be great, because I didn't read the book and I would love to hear more about the similarities and differences. And if Critter wants to join, Critter is absolutely welcome. I would love to do that. Love Critter. And love you, Doc. You guys are awesome. So yes, just say the word. We will set that up after the finale. The week after, maybe. We'll do an extra stream for that, because I'm going to probably be doing an Alien Earth stream on Monday. That week. The week of Monday. Not next week, but like the week after the finale live. So a couple of weeks from now. Maybe 3 weeks from now. Bill said, Samuel, congrats on the promotion. Yeah. Yeah, Samuel's got a wrench. Indeed. Hey, Fletch. Thanks for coming to drop the like. Appreciate you. Scarlett said this guy just keeps petting his iguana. Yeah, for some reason I found that I just find that fun to say. It has some funny connotations to it, you know. So I did that on purpose, by the way. Carl says 21 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Please hit the like button. It's not too late. We are winding down now. But it does help people find the stream. Bill, yes. Petting his iguana. I knew the connotations as I was saying it, and I did it on purpose. But seriously, that's all the dude was ever doing. Bill Chill, Inspector Gadget, Dr. Mad petting a cat. Oh yeah, there was that too. I used to see that on the cartoon. J. Dean says, take care, everyone. Going to watch the latest episode of Dexter Resurrection. Well, enjoy, J. Dean. Thank you so much for being here. Dieter says, tonight we'll watch Undercover Brother and other movies in Julie's Discord channel. Okay, so yeah, go check that out tonight. If you want to watch, we have lots of fun watch parties for movies and TV series. Check out the links to the Discord in the description of this video. Scarlett said, how is this going to end? Do the kids get together brain-wise and take down the Institute, like kill people or earthquake the building down? I think that this needs to culminate in a gigantic thing like that. It's about time. We need to see something explosive to do with what these kids are capable of. People have compared this show to Stranger Things. Stranger Things constantly showcases the abilities of 11 in really impressive, exciting, interesting ways. So they're going to waste these kids' abilities if they don't show something huge, because they're taking too long to do that. So yes, I think something big will happen. And in the preview, in the trailer for this season, spoilers for if you don't want to hear about the trailer, maybe mute right now for a minute. But the trailer for this season showed a whole building levitating. So maybe they make the whole building levitate, the kids, I mean. Something big is going to go down. We love you too, Dieter, and this whole community. Yes, we're wrapping it up. No glove, no love. Okay. You're welcome, Doc. You're welcome. Can't wait. That'll be a fun stream. Scarlett says, I think the Institute is saving the world from aliens or some outside threat. Yes, I think they really are saving the world from something, but it's still not worth it for what they have to do to the kids. Stroking his lizard. Yeah, you could say that too. Yes, I did it on purpose because I thought it was funny. The play on words there. Dieter said, Critter suggested to watch Nothing But Trouble. If Critter can join, we can watch that also. Awesome. Hey, Noah set up his YouTube channel. Awesome. So cool. Noah, drop the link. Drop the link to your YouTube channel before we wrap up, finish this live here. You can drop the link one more time if you'd like. And check out Noah's channel for his battle raps. Hey, Lori, Real Cinema Therapy there in the chat. Check out her channel. Lori has an awesome channel where she does psychological analysis using her own expertise in that field to analyze TV series. And I think she's doing an amazing job. And I'm so proud of you, Lori. You're doing so awesome, collaborating with Jamie on Sci-Fi Vision a lot. It's so cool, and everything you're doing on your channel. I'm just so impressed. You're a natural at this. Anyway, Doc said, that reminds me, my lizard needs a refill of her water. You have a lizard? Oh, cool. Lori started a Discord. Yes, put the link in the chat. Absolutely, Lori. Check out Lori's Discord. Scarlett said they mentioned control of the weather earlier, like storms and lightning. Yeah, maybe. Scarlett said, gee, the building floating seems like a big tell. I didn't know this. Yeah, they put too much stuff. They spoiled too much stuff in trailers and the opening credits and in the plot itself in this show. They really do. What does this mean, Carl, that Dieter put in the chat?
Vamos a cerrar el live stream. We're going to close the live stream.
Yes, I figured it was something like that. Vamos. Yeah, I could pick that part up. Doc has a leopard gecko named Isis. I've had her for 7 years. Aw, she is a sweet girl. Ah, that's cute. Very cute, Doc. I love that you're such an animal lover. There's the link to Noah's channel. There you go. There's Noah's channel for his battle raps. Check that out if you're into that. Support our friends here. Here's the link to Lori's channel, Real Cinema Therapy. There's the link to Lori's Discord, so check that out. All those are right there. And you are welcome, Lori. Happy to support anytime at all. You're just doing an amazing job, and I'm just so impressed with how you just hit the ground running. With the quality of your content is really amazing. It's like you've been doing it for years. You're just so good at this, and you're so insightful in the way that you cover shows and use your psychological knowledge to do it. Okay, so that is going to do it. So next week, so Saturday night, I should say, we're going to do our usual watch party for the Institute in the Discord. So be ready around 11:59 p.m. I'll be in there getting ready to stream it when it drops at midnight in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord and you're not in there already, the link is in the description of this video. You can watch with us, as always, and we stream it twice. So if you miss it the first time, then we'll stream it right after as well. So around close to 1 a.m. or whenever the first episode ends. And then Monday, Carl and I will be covering that episode in a live stream. At least I think we're going to do it on Monday. If anything comes up and we have to postpone to another night, I will let you know. But that's the plan for now. And we'll be breaking down episode 7 live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. The plan is for Monday, but if that changes, I'll put out an announcement in Discord and on my YouTube community posts. So make sure your Discord notifications are on. Make sure your YouTube notifications are on, because of my pain situation and my need for self-care, I do have to move live streams a lot these days and change times. And I apologize for that unpredictability, but it's just in the service of self-care that I need to do. So Lori said, so sweet of you to say, I learned a lot from you. Well, I really mean it. And that's gratifying to hear. Thank you. I'm glad to share anything I can, anything that I've learned in, my short time on YouTube myself. I'm happy to share with anyone who'd like to start doing this, and I'm happy to support. Yeah, proud of you, Lori. Doing amazing. Keep at it. Keep grinding. And Lori, I'll put your channel in the description of the video too. I'll add that when I'm adding the link to my my interview with Mary Walsh from the Institute. So if you're listening on the replay, you can check out the link to Lori's channel, Doc Kaiju's channel, Mr. Grant Gregory. So please check out all our friends' channels, and give them some support. I'll throw in Noah's channel link as well, Noah King, for his battle raps. And that's going to do it. Also, yeah, check out my interview with Mary Walsh from the Institute. That's the latest on my channel. And next week, I'm probably going to be interviewing Vigo, who plays Avery, and Jane Luck, who plays Maureen. I will let you know when those are going to drop. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We love you too, Dieter. Yeah, you take care. Take care, everybody out there. See you later, Bill. Trying to get back to my... Oh, yeah. No, yep, absolutely, Dieter. All right. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for supporting and always being there week after week and changing my life. Thank you so much. As my life is changing in so many beautiful and wildly unexpected, miraculous ways. And it all started with starting this channel. And it never would have happened if it wasn't for all of you. So I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you, including those who are listening and not chatting. Anyone at all who watches my streams and, and watches my videos, I am forever grateful, because it's not just about this channel. This channel has opened all kinds of doors for me in my life and outside of the channel as well. So thank you so much, each and every one of you. And there's the link to our friend Doc's channel on YouTube right there. And anyway, yes, Scarlett, yeah, go ahead and drop the link to Sci-Fi Vision's channel. Go ahead and do that too. And check out Sci-Fi Vision's channel and Scarlett's coverage of multiple series with Jamie. So yes, lurkers, shout out to the lurkers. We love you. We love all of you guys. Yes. There is a link. What is this? Virtual masculinity? I'm not sure what that is, but there's a link that Doc dropped. Good night, Samuel. And Scarlett, go ahead and drop the link. I'm going to start our little outro. Have a good night or a good morning or good day or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you, some of you, I'm sure, in the watch party Saturday night for the Institute, and Monday night. That's the plan anyway for the live for now. There it is. There is a link to a live on Sci-Fi Vision's channel with Jamie and Scarlett. So yes, please support all of our friends, including Sci-Fi Vision with Scarlett as well, of course. So yes, they had a birthday trivia and little celebration for Scarlett's birthday over there earlier tonight. So you can check out the replay there. Okay. Enjoy your weekend, guys, and stay safe out there. And I appreciate you all so much. And we will see you next time.
Yeah. That's a theory creaking open, baby.
Yo, welcome to the screen where the plot gets bent. Julie B deep dives, not just for content. She don't react, she dissects those threads from the lens, catching clues y'all missed when the credits end. What you know about freeze framing frames and while you blinking, she building an evidence drum. Got a notebook bigger than the lore itself, and a chat full of nerds with a mental health shelf. Yeah, she sees the glitch, peep the double cross. You just watching TV, she talk to the boss. Every theory and thesis, no throwaway guess. While y'all on season 1, she in season X. Said rewind and slow it, zoom in enhance. Julie B caught the symbol in the window glance. While you tweeting what just happened like a clown, she already made a flow chart, color coded breakdown.
They don't die like us, they don't vibe like us. They binge and they bounce, we revive that trust. They skip intros, we wear frame. You watch shows, we decode the game. They don't die like us, nah, they don't die like us.
She cracked Severance before y'all knew it was deep. Predicted the Last of Us deaths in her sleep. When the camera pans, she ain't blinking once. Catch a ghost in the glass, call it theory punch. Watch parties lit like apocalypse nights. Call-ins while they bringing alien rights.
Hey Julie, I think the trees are spies. Well, I have a spreadsheet that confirms that, guys.
Zoom in, boom in, she moving through clues. Spinning Discord in the courtrooms, Lord of views. Got mods with receipts. Time stands with heat. Every rewatch turns into a Reddit elite. You stuck on the surface, we beneath with maps. Cross-referencing lore with the rector's caps. If your fave show got secrets, don't be dumb. Julie got the chalkboard out in From's where it's from.
They don't dive like us, they don't vibe like us. They skim the edge, we inside that crust. They zone out, we zone in the pain. You say plot twist, we say nope, chain. They don't dive like us, nah, they don't dive like us.
What's that?
That ain't a blooper, that's a plot thread. You thought it was a shadow? She thought it was a coded message from season 3. And she's probably right. Step this way if your mind's unbent. Step that way if your theories pay rent. Say Julie B, deep dive queen. Now zoom, scroll, theorize, pull. Ain't no rabbit hole safe once she got the cloud.
They don't die.